Disabled people and beautiful women a perfect match. Wen Lina's eyes shifted, then suddenly lit up. Kaihua, the one originally engaged to us, was the third young master, Yunxuan. Now they've suddenly swapped him out? If that's the case, then we can switch too. Don't we still have another daughter at home? Tang Daixi stopped crying. She exchanged a glance with Wen Lina and nodded eagerly. That's right, Dad. Isn't Shu Yao also your daughter? The Li family only asked for a daughter from our family. They didn't say she had to be biological or adopted. A blind girl for a crippled man, what a perfect match. Who else would want a useless wreck like her? Inside the study, the family was enthusiastically plotting how to sell off their adopted daughter. Outside the door, Shu Yao leaned against the wall, listening to the conversation within. A cold smirk curled her lips. 15 years ago, Tang Kaihua adopted Shu Yao from the orphanage, telling her this would be her home. But now that the family faced trouble, she was the first one they threw into the fire as a scapegoat. But that's fine. She'd long since grown tired of staying in this house anyway. Wiping away her cold sneer, Shu Yao put on an obedient, innocent expression and gently pushed open the study door. Dad, Mom, I'll go. The room fell into an instant silence. Her four simple words echoed in the air. Tang Daixi was the first to react. Yao, are you serious? She rushed over and grabbed Shu Yao's thin arm. My good little sister, are you really going to take my place? All these years I've doted on you, haven't been in vain? Heh. Now she wants to act all sisterly. Shu Yao lowered her eyes, her gaze dull and lifeless behind the hazy veil. Sister, I heard everything. My good daughter, Yao. Wen Lina's face beamed with a fake smile. As long as you're willing to marry in place of your sister, you can have anything: cars, houses, whatever you want. I don't want cars or houses. I only want— Shu Yao paused, biting her lip. I just want the diamond necklace Grandma left behind. The diamond necklace? Tang Daixi cried out, instinctively reaching for her neck. She had expected Shu Yao to ask for something outrageous like a house or a car, but just a worthless necklace. Truly blind. Fine, the necklace, right? Take it. Tang Daixi agreed readily, yanking the necklace from her neck. But Wen Lina stepped in and snatched it, stuffing it into her pocket. Such a filial child. As long as you marry in Daishi's place, I'll make sure that necklace is part of your dowry, Wen Lina said with a crafty glint in her eyes. Once outside the study, Shu Yao's pitiful mask instantly dropped, replaced by cold determination. She ripped off the white veil, removed the pale grey contact lenses, revealing a pair of sharp, dark eyes glinting with mischief and disdain. Filial? What a joke! Did Wen Lina and Tang Daixi really think she couldn't see their little act? If Li Chengqian weren't crippled, making it easier for her to operate freely, she wouldn't even bother pretending to be filial for this sham marriage. When she was 5, Tang Kaihua gave her a home, and she'd done her best to fit in, to hide her growing strength. But ever since her eyes were blinded by chemicals 5 years ago, she had stopped seeing herself as part of the Tang family. If marrying into the Li family in Daishi's place is what they want, fine, she'll do it. Chapter 2, No Wedding, No Guests. Back in her room, Shu Yao locked the door behind her and stepped into the bathroom. As the sound of rushing water filled the air, she put on a lifelike human skin mask, pulled a laptop from a hidden compartment in the ceiling, and swiftly tapped at the keyboard. Soon, the screen lit up with the face of a young man. 13, you finally show up. Gone was the timid girl from the study. With a cool, composed expression, Shu Yao's voice was crisp and businesslike. Have you finished negotiating with the buyer? Shenyi raised a slender, fair finger with a lazy smile. Shu Yao frowned. Only 100 million. That's it? Yes, Shenyi drawled, his face as handsome as a top-tier idol, with a wicked grin curling on his lips. 100 million. US dollars. A flicker of satisfaction passed through Shu Yao's eyes. Acceptable. Shenyi beamed. So when's the handoff, boss? Tomorrow night. Location: Li residence. His smile froze. Shenyi's voice suddenly pitched high with shock. Li residence? What are you doing at the Li residence? Everyone in the country knew how untouchable the Lis were. Not even a fly could sneak in, let alone a person. She wanted to make the exchange there. Was she out of her mind? No need to question. Just follow orders. I'll contact you if anything changes. She paused for a moment. Tell everyone to lie low for now. All attention should be on the upcoming jade auction in Myanmar. She had a sharp instinct someone had been watching her lately. It made her skin crawl. Yes, Maram. After ending the call, Shu Yao quickly disassembled the laptop and tucked the parts into the lining of her suitcase. Then, she turned to the mirror and carefully peeled off the mask. The name 13 Yao was infamous in certain underground circles. She and Shenyi had first crossed paths 5 years ago at a jade bidding conference in Yingjiang. Back then, she'd saved his life without a second thought, and from that moment on, he'd followed her like a loyal little brother, taking orders without complaint. She supplied, he sold. The two of them were a perfect team, and over time, they quietly monopolized the jade business in all of Gangcheng. Their current target? The long-lost, allegedly cursed mountain of light jade mine that hadn't surfaced in 50 years. In a hillside villa. Sunlight spilled through tall glass windows, warming the tastefully decorated room. By the window sat a man in a wheelchair, eyes closed in silence. The door opened. Butler Shu entered quietly. Young master, the old master has set the wedding date for 3 days from now. Per your instructions, everything will be kept simple. The man opened his eyes slowly. His thick lashes fluttered, revealing a pair of icy black eyes that dimmed the sunlight around him. Notify Yi Xiao. Activate the plan. His voice was smooth and rich, like a deep chord struck on a cello, sending shivers through their heart. 10 years, Li Chengqian. I've waited 10 years for you to grow up. This time, don't let me down. 3 days later. A car rolled into the villa grounds. Shu Yao sat quietly in the back seat. Her blank grey eyes glinted with a subtle light. It was her wedding day. No ceremony. No guests. She was simply delivered to the villa on the mountainside. 2 lines of servants stood at attention by the front door, bowing deeply as they greeted her. Welcome, young madam. Shu Yao gave them a perfunctory nod. Inside, the villa was a display of European luxury. Pristine furnishings. Elegant design. But not a single trace of festivity or celebration. Without lingering, she was escorted upstairs. Young madam, please wait here. Master will be with you shortly. As soon as everyone left, Shu Yao's posture collapsed. She spent the whole afternoon pretending to be a refined lady. Her body was so stiff she felt like a corpse. Peeling off the gaudy accessories, Shu Yao stretched and took a look around the room. A pair of bright red double happiness symbols hung above the bed. The bedding was all crimson. Seemed fitting for someone Li's age. She kicked off her heels and walked barefoot to the window. From this vantage point, she could overlook the entire city of Gangcheng. The view under the setting sun, as lights began to twinkle, was breathtaking. After a round of stretches, leg lifts, shoulder rolls, back bends, she finally felt her joints and muscles loosen up. Good environment. Few staff. No cameras on their way in. Not a bad base of operations. She smiled to herself, but just as her lips curled, her leg was suddenly pulled up over her head and a door creaked open behind her. Shu Yao froze mid-stretch. Chapter 3, Hello, Uncle. I just went blind. Butler Shu, pushing a wheelchair, quickly turned his startled gaze away. Young madam, this is Master Li. Lowering her leg, Shu Yao stiffly turned to face the man in the chair. He was stunning. White shirt, casually rolled up sleeves, a face sculpted like a Greek statue, sharp, frosty lips, piercing gaze, and a noble air that not even a wheelchair could diminish. A god among men. This was the so-called old, ugly crippled Tang Daixi had described. Sure, he was disabled, but old and ugly clearly didn't apply. Noticing her dazed expression, Li Chengqian's eyes glinted with mockery. Never seen a man in a wheelchair before. Leave us, he said. Butler Shu exited, quietly closing the door behind him. Shu Yao blinked, snapping out of her trance. Right. Today, she was Tang Daixi. Hello, uncle. I'm your new wife. My name is Tang Daixi. She kept her eyes down as she spoke. Uncle? She nodded sweetly, back to playing the timid blind girl. Based on your age, that seems appropriate. Heh. Li Chengqian chuckled coldly. You sure you don't want to look up and check if I'm more like an uncle or a brother? Look. She was blind supposedly. Even if she wanted to look, she couldn't see. You're not her. Shu Yao's words caught in her throat. She instinctively looked up. What? The cold pressure radiating from Li Chengqian didn't lessen in the slightest. I don't remember Tang Daixi being blind. Her expression twitched. I just recently went blind, all right? And besides, you're marrying the Tang family's daughter. Who cares if I'm blind? I didn't even complain about you. She clapped her hands over her mouth. Too late. I'm sorry, I didn't mean. Before she could finish, Li Chengqian turned his wheelchair and left. The door shut behind him. Shu Yao took a deep breath. This man was not to be underestimated. In the study, Li Chengqian made a call. Find out who the woman I married today really is. Yes, sir. After hanging up, he stared at the bold red double happiness symbol on the door, his eyes dark and unreadable. Soon, his phone buzzed. Sir, we found her. The woman in the photo you sent is the Tang family's adopted daughter Shu Yao. Tang Kaihua took her in from the orphanage 5 years ago. But what? There was a gulp on the other end. Miss Shu is blind. Li Chengqian's brow arched. A sneer curled on his lips. A blind girl. No wonder she kept avoiding his eyes. Well played, Tang family. They'd pulled a bait and switch on him. Tang family. Li Chengqian nodded slightly. This game was starting to get interesting. Meanwhile, in the bridal chamber, Shu Yao locked the door and retrieved the disassembled parts of her laptop from her suitcase. She dashed into the bathroom. With deft fingers, she quickly reassembled the computer. Her fingers flew across the keyboard, launching a system scan to check the entire villa for cameras or bugs. Once she confirmed the layout, she video called Shenyi. Tonight at 11. Hillside Villa, 3 o'clock direction. I thought you were going to the Li residence. Why are you at the Hillside Villa? Shenyi frowned. Did you offend the Lis? That's none of your concern. Just do your job. At work, Shu Yao was a different person, sharp, detached, and ruthless. Even Shenyi, who had followed her for 5 years, knew better than to push when it came to her private life. He shrank like a scolded puppy. Sorry. I overstepped. Let me say it again. Don't try to trace me. If you do, our partnership ends. Permanently. She ended the call. A cold glint flickered in her eyes as she clenched her jaw. Looks like tonight, she needed to put on a new mask. Suddenly, the sound of the doorknob turning broke the silence. Shu Yao ripped the mask from her face, the laptop still half disassembled, too late to hide it. Chapter 4, A slap in the face is too light. At the critical moment, Shu Yao immediately jumped into the bathtub. The door panel opened, and Li Chengqian, sitting in a wheelchair, appeared in front of him. Who? Shu Yao lay in the bathtub, grabbed a towel beside her and put it on her body, shouting in fear, "Get out! Get out quickly! It's me!" Shu Yao's expression relaxed a little at the steady and deep voice, "Third uncle." "I'm not your uncle." Shu Yao was about to explain further when Li Chengqian turned the wheelchair and said, "Hurry up and wash." Door. Shu Yao pointed at the wide-open bathroom door. The wheelchair turned over again, and a faint smile flashed across Li Chengqian's lips. "We are husband and wife, there is nothing to hide." Husband and wife? Does fake couples count as such? Taking a deep breath, Shu Yao suppressed the anger in her heart. Don't get angry, anger makes you age quickly. Although the door was not closed, fortunately Li Chengqian was still somewhat manly and he could not see inside the bathroom from his angle. But the computer that is soaking in the bathtub right now is broken. This Li Chengqian didn't come earlier or later, but came at this time. Fortunately, she reacted in time, otherwise he would have been exposed. He took apart the computer in the bathtub and stuffed it piece by piece into the bathtub before he wrapped himself in a bathrobe and walked out of the bathroom. Hearing their voice, Li Chengqian turned his head to look at her, his brows furrowed. "Take it off." Shu Yao immediately covered her chest tightly. What do you want to do? Although I can't see you, you can't do anything reckless." I'm not ready yet." As he spoke, Shu Yao regained his ability to play the blind man, groping around in the air with his hands. Li Chengqian looked at her in silence, and the wheelchair moved forward. "I said, take it off." Her throat rolled and Shu Yao retreated again and again until her back hit the wall and she could not retreat any further. Uncle, you, don't do this, Seeing her wary look, Li Chengqian sighed helplessly. Who told you to wear my bathrobe? Shu Yao blinked blankly and subconsciously wanted to look at him, but the first rule of pretending to be blind is that you cannot look the other person in the eye. Oh, I'll change it right away. After saying that, Shu Yao was about to leave, but Li Chengqian spoke first. No need, go and run me a bath. Me? Shu Yao pointed at herself without any doubt. The reason why she agreed to marry in place of someone else was that she heard that Li Chengqian was a disabled old man. After all, it would be easier to do things here than in the Tang family. But who would have thought that although the third master of the Li family was in a wheelchair, he was neither old nor ugly, especially his eyes, which were as sharp as an eagle. After all, she was a person who had experienced ups and downs, but she actually felt an indescribable sense of depression in front of him. As expected of a member of the Li family, even if he is disabled, he should not be underestimated. If it's not you, then could it be me? Pointing at his legs, Li Chengqian raised his head to look at her. Okay, I'll go. Shu Yao resigned herself to her fate and groped her way into the bathroom along the wall. After running the water, Shu Yao turned around and called him, "The bath water is ready. Help me in." Shu Yao rubbed her cheeks. He was becoming more and more skilled in giving orders. Okay, third uncle, I'll help you in. Shu Yao smiled sweetly, but her fingers were groping forward randomly. Then, when she was about 10 centimeters away from Li Chengqian, she swung her hands vigorously. Par. With a crisp slap, Shu Yao immediately took a step back. Uncle, I'm sorry, I didn't mean it, I can't see, so. His tongue touched the side of his face, and Li Chengqian couldn't help but curl the corners of his mouth. The first time he was beaten, it was by such a little girl. How dare you hit me? Shu Yao shook her head, her lifeless eyes moving around. No, uncle, I didn't mean it. Although he said he didn't mean it, his heart was filled with smiles. Oh, you stinky man, I let you order me around, so a slap in the face is too light a punishment. Seeing her apology, clumsy but sincere, Li Chengqian couldn't help but sigh. Getting angry at a little girl. Help me over there. Seeing that he was not angry, Shu Yao felt it was boring and walked towards him. However, her foot slipped and she fell towards Li Chengqian. A scream pierced the air, and Shu Yao subconsciously tried to pull her legs and turn over, but the space was too small, and Li Chengqian was there, so she immediately put down her left foot that she was about to raise, and fell to the ground. With a muffled groan, Shu Yao threw herself directly on Li Chengqian, her hands resting on his thighs and her face pressed against his lower abdomen. Chapter 5, Third Grandma is so anxious. I cursed secretly in my heart, she really didn't mean it this time. It's all his fault. Why did he ask her to prepare the bath water for him? Shu Yao's mind was full of thoughts, and she didn't realize that there was anything wrong with the position she was lying in, until the man moved seemingly embarrassedly. Shu Yao suddenly sat up and finally realized something. You bastard! You! His turbid eyes looked straight at Li Chengqian, and a fierce look flashed across his eyes. I'm a normal man. He said it as a matter of course, not feeling offended at all. Suppressed by the aura in his black eyes, Shu Yao remembered that she was now a blind person. Shu Yao propped herself up, covered her face with one hand, and held onto the wall with the other hand to go out. Li Chengqian, sitting in a wheelchair, was stuck in the doorway. After all, a blind person can't see, so it would be the most normal reaction for her to just force her way through. Just when Shu Yao was trying to force her way through, Li Chengqian suddenly turned the wheelchair. Shu Yao was caught off guard, her feet slipped, and she fell backwards. Due to the stress response from years of professional training, she subconsciously tried to dodge, but suddenly her waist sank and she was pulled into an embrace that exuded a faint minty scent. But this posture was extremely awkward and Shu Yao felt restless. She married into the Li family so that it would be easier for her to do her own things in the future. Although he was neither old nor ugly, and was even very handsome, it did not mean that anything would really happen between her and him. Her original plan was that she would be a blind person who had accomplished nothing and remain unknown for a while. After a long time, they would no longer be wary of her and she could do her own thing, but now things have completely gone beyond her tone. Her husband is not only young and handsome, but also has an oppressive look in his eyes that cannot be underestimated and is not easy to deal with. Why is third grandma so anxious? Shu Yao suddenly withdrew her thoughts. What's the hurry? Poke the hooligan. Rogue. Li Chenqian pinched her chin and forced her eyes to meet his. The grey pupils fell into his black eyes, but there was only dead silence. You are my wife, and it is your duty to serve your husband, third grandma. You? Shu Yao wanted to explain, but before she could finish her words, he pushed her up with his arm. Take off your clothes for me and give me a bath. The tone of his voice was like that of a king, his orders were given and could not be resisted. Shu Yao wanted to greet all his ancestors in her heart, and finally nodded. Okay, take a shower. Since she is blind, she naturally has to implement the word blind to the end. When I was undressing him, I either scratched his face with my nails or unbuttoned the wrong buttons. It took me a long time to get his shirt off. With only her last pair of pants left, Shu Yao was trapped. This was her first time to have such close contact with the opposite sex. Broad shoulders and narrow waist, well-developed pectoral muscles, tight abdominal muscles, and most importantly, shark line. Shu Yao felt her nose getting hot, and something came to her mind. Why are you standing there? Go and solve it. He looked at her with a penetrating gaze. Shu Yao's heart sank. If she backed down at this moment, he would definitely notice something. Let's go all out, since a blind person can't see it anyway. The slender fingers silently reached to his waist, and finally touched his belt along his waist. The belt would open with just a slight press, but she wanted to put on a show, and after a long while, not only did she not untie the belt, she even tied it tighter. Let you order me around and see how I punish you. Smiling in her heart, Shu Yao simply pulled the belt hard, causing the gap to pinch the flesh. Li Chengqian gasped in pain, preventing Shu Yao from doing any further harm. That's enough. His hand was slapped away by him, and Shu Yao stood aside aggrieved. What's wrong? Did I not do well enough? Not good enough. Li Chengqian was so angry that he was speechless. How could she still have the nerve to say hello? Good, very good. Then I'll continue. Seeing that veins were popping out of his forehead due to anger, Shu Yao continued to reach out to him. But before her hand touched him, Li Chengqian quickly turned the wheelchair and pushed her out of the bathroom with one hand. Standing outside the door, Shu Yao turned around. Fortunately, she was almost exposed by his stare several times. Quickly pulling out the suitcase, Shu Yao took out the computer parts hidden in her bathrobe one by one and stuffed them into the compartment of the suitcase. After putting away her things, Shu Yao looked at the time. It was almost time to go out. Shenyi would probably be here soon. I'm hungry. In the bathroom, the man's impatient voice came out. If you're hungry, go find something to eat yourself. I understand. Shu Yao quickly changed her clothes, put the brocade box into her pocket, opened the window and jumped out. When Li Chengqian came out of the shower, Shu Yao was already asleep on the bed, with a half-eaten strawberry cake on the table next to her. Looking at the girl's sleeping face, the meaning in Li Chengqian's eyes became even more intense. Turning around, Li Chengqian turned his wheelchair and walked out the door. Chapter 6, Being Teased by a Little Girl. The next day, when Shu Yao opened her eyes, the sun was already high in the sky. After washing up and going downstairs, Shu Yao saw the man sitting at the dining table and eating breakfast elegantly. Only after making sure he had left last night did Shu Yao relax and fall asleep. After going downstairs holding the railing, the housekeeper sent by Wen Lina came over immediately and helped Shu Yao walk to the dining table and sit down. Uncle Shu served breakfast. Third grandma, this is your first day married into the Li family, and you don't know the rules yet, but I have to tell you that in the Li family, you can't get up later than third master, and you can't kick third master out of the house. Shu Yao looked aggrieved. I didn't chase him away. The third master slept in the guest room last night. He wants to go of his own accord. I can't hold him back from leaving. Shu Yao said, feeling aggrieved. After all, she was a girl, and she would cry if she pouted. Li Chengqian standing by was obviously a little annoyed. If you want to cry, go outside and cry. The emotion that was about to burst out was instantly swallowed back. Shu Yao clenched her back teeth, rolled her eyes at him silently, and then began to sip the milk in big gulps. If it wasn't for acting, who would cry in front of you? Stinky man. Seeing that he couldn't convince Shu Yao, Uncle Shu turned to look at Li Chengqian. Third master, you slept in the guest room on your wedding night. If this gets to the old man, it will be hard to explain. Li Chengqian slammed the chopsticks in his hand onto the table. Snap! The crisp sound echoed in the living room. Uncle Shu. Li Chengqian's eyes were filled with frost. You are the butler of the Banshan Villa, not the butler of the Li residence. Uncle Shu immediately lowered his head in fear and trepidation. I'm sorry, third master, I spoke out of turn. Shu Yao had no intention of interfering in their master-servant relationship and just focused on eating. As a result, Li Chengqian, who was sitting opposite her, didn't even want to let her have a good meal. Under the table, he kicked her. Why are you standing there? Push me upstairs. R. Shu Yao raised her head blankly, her eyes falling on the vase behind him. She caught a glimpse of his increasingly ferocious eyes, and nodded immediately. Oh, let's go upstairs. Shu Yao groped her way to him on the table and pushed her wheelchair toward the door. Because she couldn't see, she made several wrong moves, and each time she bumped into him with Li Chengqian's leg. Her jaw was trembling slightly as she tried hard to suppress her anger. Uncle Shu followed her nervously. This third grandma was not the same as the rumors said. People say that the eldest daughter of the Tang family is a well-educated and well-mannered lady. Is this girl in front of me with her impetuous movements and clumsy behavior really that lady? Especially those eyes, which were dirty and grey, making him look like a blind person. Every time there was a bump, Shu Yao would say, I'm sorry, but in fact she was already setting off fireworks with joy in her heart. Looking at the vase on the shelf not far away, a cunning look flashed across Shu Yao's eyes. Let me go. Let me see who should go this time. Thinking of this, Shu Yao pushed her wheelchair towards the vase. Go left. Go left. Li Chengqian shouted harshly as he saw the vase getting closer. Shu Yao was originally blind, and after being scolded by him, she looked panic-stricken, and with her crying voice, her acting was flawless. Where is it? Where is the left? Which way should I go? The wheelchair hit the shelf with a bang, and the vase swayed a few times before falling off the shelf. After a few seconds, there was no sound of breaking, and the vase fell accurately into Li Chengqian's arms. Shu Yao stopped and a lost expression appeared on her face. Li Chengqian turned his head to look at her. Can't you just walk properly? Shu Yao quickly adjusted her expression and apologized repeatedly. I'm sorry, Uncle San, I can't see. Looking at her cloudy and pale eyes, Li Chengqian couldn't get angry even if he wanted to. After handing the vase to Uncle Shu, Li Chengqian turned his wheelchair and entered the elevator. Seeing Shu Yao still standing there in a daze, Li Chengqian said coldly, Why are you standing there? Come in. Shu Yao immediately groped her way into the elevator. Back in the bedroom, Li Chengqian pointed to the dressing room and said, Change my clothes. Change clothes? What he's wearing is pretty good, why does he have to change clothes? Mumbling in her heart, Shu Yao still asked softly, Uncle San, why are you changing clothes? Are you going out? Li Chengqian looked at her with a sinister look, and Shu Yao was actually frightened by his gaze. After all, Shu Yao was someone who had seen the world, and she couldn't help but feel a little nervous. Is this man really as simple as he looks? Shu Yao couldn't see through him. This man is too dangerous. She must stay alert at all times, otherwise if he finds out that she is not blind, the consequences will be disastrous. Okay, change your clothes. After groping her way into the dressing room, Shu Yao Jin followed an invisible principle. She originally wanted to randomly mix a few pieces of contrasting colors in his closet to make him look as ugly as possible. However, his closet was all black and grey, and no matter how tricky the combination was, it would be difficult to make him look ugly. Under his guidance, Shu Yao picked out her clothes, but when it came to changing them, she became conflicted. The only contact she had with the opposite sex in her life was given to him. She had already tolerated him hugging and stripping her last night, and now he asked her to put clothes on him. This old rogue. Seeing that she didn't respond, Li Chengqian urged, Why, you can't continue the performance so soon. Play? What acting? I don't know what you're talking about. Shu Yao sighed, Uncle, I want to change it for you, but I'm afraid it will hurt you like last night. What should I do? She said it as if she was really doing it for his own good. You want me to do it myself? Seeing him sitting in the wheelchair, he looked really pitiful, and Shu Yao just thought she was being kind. Okay, I'll change it for you. When he changed his home clothes and revealed his full chest muscles and tight abdominal muscles, Shu Yao felt her ears turn red. Although I saw it last night, the lighting was dim and I couldn't see it clearly. Seeing it face to face today, the impact was really shocking. Closing her eyes, Shu Yao put the shirt on him by feel, and then buttoned it one by one. There were a few that were tied incorrectly, but luckily he didn't make things difficult for her. It was just that when it came to the pants, Shu Yao didn't know what to do. After all, she suffered a loss at his belt last night. Just when her hand was about to touch his belt, Li Chengqian suddenly said, "Go out." Shu Yao immediately let go, turned around and walked towards the door. After taking 2 steps, she suddenly remembered that she couldn't see it, so she stretched out her hand and groped back and forth in the air. Only after she walked out the door did Shu Yao breathe a sigh of relief. The famous 13 Yao in the jade industry was unexpectedly defeated by this man. In the room, under the sunlight, the man lowered his head and glanced between his legs. He actually fell in love with this little girl twice. It had been 10 years, and he thought he had become cold-hearted enough, but he never expected that he would be so moved by a little girl. I've been single for too long, and my heart was touched by a little girl's casual flirtation. Chapter 7 Venting out your emotions is good for your health. Monster Bar is the largest entertainment venue in Hong Kong. Zhang Chao, the second son of the Zhang family, is in charge of it. However, he is not the boss behind Monster Bar. As for the boss behind the scenes, that's a mystery. A group of men in black led the way, and a man with a cold voice went upstairs surrounded by them. In the private room on the top floor, as the man entered, several men sitting in the room immediately stood up and walked forward respectfully. "Brother, why are you here?" The man raised his eyebrows and glanced coldly at the men present. "Why, I can't come." All those present were the most prominent young men in Hong Kong, and none of them were inferior to 10,000 men. However, they were shocked by the look in one man's eyes. "Of course not, brother, you are the boss, you can come if you want, but these 2 days are not suitable." The man picked up the glass and drank it all. Inappropriate. Zhang Chao came over with a glass of wine in hand. "Brother, you're newlywed, and you come to hang out with us. Our sister-in-law will be angry." Sister-in-law. Thinking of Shu Yao's innocent little face, Li Chengqian showed a sneer on his face. A short expression has revealed too much information. After exchanging glances with several young men, Zhang Chao stepped forward and said, "Brother, what's wrong? Isn't this what you planned? I see that you are not very satisfied with this. Did that woman make trouble?" As they spoke, everyone looked at Li Chengqian. Shu Jun on the other side also came forward. "Brother, tell me, what's going on?" Thinking of the dull look in that woman's eyes, Li Chenggan pursed his lips and said, "It's not a fuss, but it's getting more and more interesting." Zhang Chao pursed his lips and said, "Brother, you are not in love, are you? After all, you haven't been in contact with a woman for 10 years. Really?" Before he could finish his words, someone looked at him. Zhang Chao was so scared that he immediately shrank his neck and dared not say anything. Fu Jingqian, who had been hiding in the darkness and keeping silent, finally showed his head. "Brother, if you can't bear it, just do it. Anyway, you are husband and wife, and whatever happens is reasonable and legal." Last night, when she was lying on his legs, the fabric of his pants could not withstand the heat from her mouth. For the first time, he felt embarrassed. Later, I asked her to change my clothes. Her flushed face looked like a freshly cooked egg, crystal clear, which made people's appetite grow. An unconscious smile appeared on the corner of his mouth. He laughed, and the other people looked at each other in horror. What was going on? They saw a smile on the eldest brother's face, and he looked like a fool who was in love. Noticing the gazes of the other 3 people, Li Chengqian's expression returned to its cold and indifferent state. Shu Jun added fearlessly, "I heard that after you got married, Li Yunxuan couldn't help himself and started contacting the forces in the north. It seems that he is ready to take action." Li Chengqian pursed his lips tightly, playing with the wine glass in his hand with disdain in his eyes. "Don't worry about him, let him make trouble. When the day comes, I can't wait to see him fail." "Brother, is Tang Daixi really that good? She could make a playboy like Li Yunxian settle down." Shu Jun raised his eyebrows, with a devilish look on his face. "Why don't you try it out and see if it's suitable for you?" Seeing Li Chengqian's increasingly gloomy face, Zhang Chao smiled slyly and added fuel to the fire. "Brother, you have been a monk for so many years, there is no reason not to eat the meat that is right in front of you." After saying that, Zhang Chao and Shu Jun looked at each other and then burst into laughter. The wine glass in his hand fell heavily on the table, and Li Chengqian smiled coldly. the project over at Fuguo is about to be launched. Fu Jingqian sipped his wine with a gloating look on his face, silently praying for the two brothers in his heart. You two should go to Fuguo tomorrow and take a good look. The smiles on their lips froze instantly. Brother, no, I'm doing this for your own good. 30 is like a wolf and a tiger, you have to vent your blood and energy, right? Otherwise, it will be bad for your health. Zhang Chao almost knelt down before him. Brother, I was wrong. I shouldn't have said too much. Let Xiao Sire go by himself. Xiao Sire is young and in good shape. I have old people to take care of and young children to take care of. Can you bear to let me go to a place like Fuguo? Oh my god. Zhang Chao, you little bastard, you betrayed me, didn't you? Xu Jun was also anxious. Brother, I will follow your arrangements, but Zhang Xiaosan must also go with me. While the two were arguing, there was suddenly a burst of hurried footsteps at the door, followed by the sound of tables and chairs falling to the ground. Throwing their wine glass on the table, Zhang Chao immediately stood up and said, How dare you cause trouble on my turf? After saying that, Zhang Chao glanced at Li Chengqian and said, Brother, you sit down. I'll be there soon. He rushed out of the room as if escaping, so fast that he didn't even close the door of the private room. A familiar voice came, Let me go. You bunch of running dogs. Look carefully, I am the third master of the Li family, and I am the one you dare to stop. Bastards. Get away from me. In the private room, Xu Jun also stood up in surprise. Brother, someone is impersonating you. Everyone knows that the third master of the Li family is Li Chengqian, who was accidentally disabled 10 years ago. And now, the man outside who is full of energy and calls himself the third master Li must have not expected that the person in the private room is the real third master Li. After 10 years of grudges, Li Chengqian had already figured out who that person was. When the two were about to leave, Li Chengqian raised his hand to stop them. No hurry. Over there, Zhang Chao just walked out the door and saw Li Yunxuan being dragged out by bodyguards. Go away. I won't leave. I haven't had enough fun yet, call the best girl here to me. Do you hear me? The manager was waiting at the door himself. I'm sorry, Master Li, we are doing serious business here, and we don't have any girls. Bullshit. Why don't you have any girls? I don't have a woman anymore, so what's wrong with you girls? Get out of here. Get the fuck out. Zhang Chao pushed through the crowd and walked over, and the manager immediately stepped aside. Who did I think you were? It turned out to be Master Li. Zhang Chao said sarcastically, Master Li, this is my Zhang family's place. If you want to act wild, go back to your Li family. Get lost. Li Yunxuan's eyes flashed with coldness. He pushed away the bodyguard who was supporting him and looked at Zhang Chao who was standing in front of him. Zhang Chao, do you think you are worthy of asking me to get lost? As he said that, Li Yunxian stretched out his hand to attack Zhang Chao, but Zhang Chao grabbed his wrist and kicked him in the knee. Li Yunxian felt pain and fell to the ground with his knees bent. When the bodyguards behind him were about to take action, the people brought by Zhang Chao immediately stepped forward and restrained Li Yunxuan's men. Zhang Chao took 2 steps back and sneered at Li Yunxian who was kneeling on the ground. Master Li, you don't have to be so polite to apologize. Everything happened so fast that when the people around reacted and ran out, they saw Li Yunxian kneeling on the ground and Zhang Chao with a look of surprise on his face. Excuse me, everyone. Mr. Li is drunk. I'm sorry. Zhang Chao deliberately emphasized the word small. Those who could come here were all well-known figures in Hong Kong City. When he heard this title, he guessed who the person kneeling on the ground was. Amidst the whispers, Zhang Chao snorted at the bodyguard beside him, Take your young master and get out of here. The bodyguards reacted immediately, carried Li Yunxian and walked out the door. Chapter 8 See how long this woman can last. In the private room, Li Chengqian listened to the noise outside. The coldness in his eyes became deeper and deeper, and his whole body was emitting chills like a 3-foot frozen iceberg, making people dare not take even a step forward. Brother, it's all resolved. Zhang Chao clapped his hands. Li Yunxian is such a coward, how dare he yell at me? Asking him to kneel down is the least he can do. If he dares to pretend to be my brother again, I will cut off his tongue. He had originally come out to ask for a drink out of annoyance, but now his mood had been ruined by Li Yunxian. He raised his hand and the bodyguard beside him immediately handed him a human skin mask. Li Chengqian took the human skin mask and put it on, and a weak, handsome, fair and tender face of a young man appeared in front of him. The other three brothers were amazed every time they saw it. "Brother, with this mask on, you look a dozen years younger. If it weren't for your muscular body, I would have thought you were a gigolo." The appearance may change, but the eyes remain sharp. Wherever his eyes went, frost formed, and Zhang Chao manually closed his mouth. Outside the monster bar, Li Yunxian was drunk and in a daze. A figure walked past him and Li Yunxian suddenly raised his head. "Mint! Such a familiar taste. Li Chengqian! It's Li Chengqian!" Li Yunxian shouted, "Quick! What are you standing there for? Find this cripple here. I'm going to kill him. How dare he steal my woman?" The young man suddenly stopped and turned his head with murderous intent in his eyes. Under the dim streetlight, a silver needle pierced through the crowd and directly pierced Li Yunxuan's knee. Ouch! With a groan, Li Yunxian knelt on the ground again. "Are you worthy enough?" In the night, a black Bugatti hummed past. The rear-view mirror reflected the man's beautiful face, and a cold smile flashed by. It was already past 11 o'clock when we returned to the villa halfway up the mountain. The car drove into the yard, and Uncle Shu immediately went out and pushed Li Chengqian into the villa. "What about her?" Uncle Shu was stunned, then he realized who Li Chengqian was talking about. Third grandma was in the bedroom all afternoon and didn't eat dinner. "Haven't you finished your meal?" Li Chengqian's face was gloomy. After just a few days of not seeing her, she had lost her appetite. Thinking of the scene of Li Yunxian making a scene in front of the monster bar, Li Chengqian's expression became even gloomier. Still acting. It was obvious that the prince had been replaced by a cat, but he was still acting deliberately, just to make him believe that the person in the villa at this moment was the real Tang Daixi. However, he was too careless and found a blind man. "You're just pretending. Well, I want to see what tricks you are playing." After going upstairs, Uncle Shu pushed Li Chengqian to the bedroom door and left. Pushing open the bedroom door, Li Chengqian saw the bulge on the huge bed. The bedroom window was not closed. The evening breeze gently blew the white gauze curtains, spilling moonlight into the room, creating an indescribable feeling of haziness. Li Chengqian gently pushed the wheelchair inside and, in the moonlight, looked at the sleeping face of the girl on the bed. The face was as big as a palm, the eyes were closed slightly, the eyelashes were long and curled. I don't know what she was dreaming about, and her pink lips were smacking. If she hadn't been arranged by Li Yunxian to be by his side, it would have been nice to have her by his side. It's a pity that she is Li Yunxian's person, so everything has changed. The next day, just as the sky was getting light, a knock on the door woke up the slender figure on the bed. "Third grandma, third master asked you to go downstairs to prepare breakfast." "Ask her to prepare breakfast. It's not even daybreak yet. Besides, there are so many servants in this house, is it necessary for her to prepare breakfast? What does he want to do again?" Carrying a tired body, Shu Yao quickly dressed up and went downstairs. The lights downstairs are already on and everyone is busy doing their work. Shu Yao touched the handrail and slowly went downstairs. At the dining table, Li Chengqian was sitting elegantly sipping coffee and reading the newspaper. Seeing her standing there in a daze, Li Chengqian turned his head and glanced at her coldly. "Why are you standing there? Go prepare breakfast." Shu Yao's eyes were still foggy. I can't see." Putting down the coffee cup, Li Chengqian leaned back and said, "How dare he send you here when you don't know anything?" "He?" Shu Yao frowned in confusion and was about to explain when he spoke again. "Before you marry into the Li family, you should have known your own identity." Li Chengqian snorted coldly and put down the newspaper. "Tell Tang Kaihua to find out who is the boss of the Li family before choosing a side." Shu Yao would be a fool if she didn't understand such a blatant threat. If she was a 13th girl, how could she be frightened by his words? But now she is Shu Yao, the adopted daughter of the Tang family. "Okay, I'll do it." As she spoke, Shu Yao slowly groped her way forward. Because she was not familiar with the road conditions, she bumped into a chair and a door frame on the way. Uncle Shu wanted to step forward to help several times, but because of Li Chengqian, he could only watch Shu Yao get bruised and battered. In the kitchen, there were clanging sounds. Li Chengqian sat in a wheelchair with his arms folded, watching her busying herself clumsily, his eyes full of gloom. He wanted to see how long this woman could last. Half an hour later, Li Chengqian looked at the dark plate on the table with disdain. "This is the breakfast you made." Shu Yao's eyes fell on the ground, and she nodded blankly. Well, I can't see it and I don't know if it's cooked or not. This was no longer a question of whether it was cooked or not. Li Chenxian had lost his appetite. He looked up at her unhappily and saw that the corners of Shu Yao's mouth were trembling and she kept scratching the back of her hand. What happened to your hand? Shu Yao immediately hid her hands behind her back. Nothing, nothing. Since there's nothing else, go upstairs and clean the bedroom. Shu Yao tightened her fingers. She had not expected this man to be so tasteless. She was blind now, and he asked her to cook and clean. It was obvious that he was making things difficult for her. Cleaning, right? Okay, I'll bear with it. With a sob, Shu Yao nodded silently, biting her lower lip as she groped her way upstairs, looking as if she had suffered a great injustice. But when he passed by Uncle Shu, the burn on the back of his hand was revealed without leaving a trace. The kitchen prepared breakfast again. The first floor was quiet with only the sound of Li Chenxian flipping through the newspapers and the sound of table tennis coming from upstairs. Uncle Shu couldn't hold it in. Third master, third grandma is blind and she didn't eat breakfast. And she injured her hand when she was making breakfast just now. What do you think? Before he could finish his words, Li Chenxian gave him a look and Uncle Shu immediately stopped what he was going to say next. Li Chenxian squinted his eyes and glanced upstairs. She hurt her hand. That's why she hid when he asked her just now. Chapter 9. I was not sent by him. Upstairs, Shu Yao made some noise and then locked herself in the bathroom. Taking out her cell phone, Shu Yao called Shen Yi. Before, they never contacted each other by phone unless necessary. 13. What's wrong? Is there an accident? Shen Yi's anxious voice came, and he was startled when he received her call. Get me a new set of equipment. R. Get a small, waterproof one. R. I will contact you again tomorrow. R. Shu Yao's eyes darkened. Are you dumb? What are you saying? Lowering his chin in surprise, Shen Yi asked, what happened? Do you need me? No, just do your job well. By the way, how is the goods? The other party has agreed to deliver the goods in 3 days, but he has a condition. A murderous look flashed across his frost-covered black eyes. What are the conditions? The other party requires 13 Yao to deliver the goods in person. Har. Shu Yao sneered and nodded. What a big tone. 13 Yao also met them just as they said. Shen Yi was helpless. This is the only buyer we can find who accepts their mountain of light. After thinking for a moment, there was a sound of the door opening. Shu Yao said quickly, okay, see you. I'll contact you at the address and time. After saying that, Shu Yao immediately took off their voice changer and put it into her pocket together with the phone. Her sinister eyes were once again shrouded in white mist, and her cold expression was immediately replaced by a well-behaved and gentle one, forming a sharp contrast with her previous frosty and cruel look. The door handle turned, and Li Chenxian's stern face appeared before him. Shu Yao pretended not to see it, holding a wet rag in one hand and groping in front of her body with the other. Suddenly, her wrist sank, and Shu Yao subconsciously looked up until her wrist met his deep eyes. Shu Yao immediately screamed and tried to shake it hard to struggle. It's me. A hoarse and mellow voice came out from his thin lips. She was obviously not very panicked, but when she heard his voice, she felt an indescribable sense of peace in her heart. Third master. Shu Yao looked around and slowly moved closer to listen. His hand was held by him, and his palm was burning hot, and the temperature slowly spread to their whole body along the position where they were pressed tightly together. The strange feeling made her subconsciously want to escape, but he held her tighter. Looking at the red and swollen area on the back of her hand, Li Chenxian's eyes changed slightly. My hand is injured. Shu Yao bit her lower lip and said softly, no, it's okay. Come here. He said with a hint of reproach in his voice, putting Shu Yao's hand and walking to the bedside. Sit down. He spoke in an imperative manner, and Shu Yao didn't understand why but sat down on the bed obediently. Li Chenxian turned his wheelchair and went into the bathroom, and when he came out he was holding a medicine box in his hand. They sat face to face. He opened the medicine box, took out a cotton ball dipped in medicine, and held her hand with his other hand. Shu Yao tried her best to suppress the strangeness in her heart, but her ears were still burned by such close contact. When the cotton ball was about to touch the wound, Shu Yao suddenly pulled her hand back. Third master, I can do it myself. Are you sure? Looking at her grey eyes, Li Chenxian's meaning was clear. Shu Yao pursed her lips and stretched out her hand obediently. Li Qingqian's movements were very gentle. The cotton ball was very soft and the medicine was cool. As he moved, the wound that had been emitting a stinging pain seemed to ease a little immediately. Looking at his profile, Shu Yao had to admit that he was indeed handsome, with a sharp profile, a high nose bridge, and thin lips. The morning sun shone through the screen window onto his profile, covering the coldness of his whole body with a layer of warm light. He suddenly turned his head, and Shu Yao had no time to look away, and met his eyes in confusion. You can't even handle such a small matter. He didn't care about her look. I really don't know why Li Yunxian sent you here. Li Yunxian? Tang Daishi's boyfriend. It's not Li Yunxian. He frowned. What? Shu Yao's face was tense. I said I was not sent by Li Yunxian. He stared at her for a long time, and suddenly a sarcastic smile flashed across his lips. He turned his wheelchair and went into the bathroom. Looking at his back, Shu Yao rolled her eyes silently. It turned out that he thought she was sent by Li Yunxian. Although she had never met Li Yunxian, the man who could make Tang Daixi love him so much must not be a good person. She was actually a little impatient to meet this new business elite, praised by everyone in Hong Kong. Legend has it that Li Chengqian was one of Hong Kong's top business geniuses back then, but when he was at the peak of his career, he met with a sudden disaster that crippled not only his body but also his mind. There are many talented people in the business world, and he was soon forgotten by others. However, Li Yunxian emerged at this time. With the name of the Li family and his first year as acting director of the Li family, the company's performance doubled, and soon Li Yunxian became the second Li Chengqian. To the outside world, Li Chengqian still retained the position of general manager, but it was just a figurehead. Although it seems that the uncle and nephew have a harmonious relationship, in fact, the information Shu Yao found shows that Li Yunxian is dissatisfied with Li Chengqian holding 45% of the company's shares but not contributing anything. This time, Li Chengqian snatched Li Yunxuan's woman, and the conflict deepened. I'm afraid he will have a hard time in the future. However, Shu Yao didn't understand why Li Chengqian hated Li Yunxian so much. Not only did he steal his woman, but he also suspected that she was a spy sent by Li Yunxian. Li family. It was becoming more and more interesting, and she began to become interested. Chapter 10 Master, you are back. Li Chengqian changed his clothes and went downstairs. As expected, men look their most handsome when they wear suits. Although Li Chengqian is sitting in a wheelchair, the black suit on him exudes a leisurely and noble air that cannot be hidden. Uncle Shu, prepare the car. Hearing their voice, Shu Yao turned around, her eyes dead silent. Third Master, are you going out? Li Chengqian nodded, and glanced at her inadvertently before realizing that she couldn't see him. You come too. You have already married into the Li family. It's time to go back to the old house and offer a cup of tea to the old man. The breakfast in front of me suddenly didn't taste good anymore. Can I not go? Li Chengqian's expression gradually turned cold. What do you think? Shu Yao pursed her lips, revealing a wronged and weak look again. I don't feel well today. Can we go another day? I'm afraid it will embarrass you if I go like this. Li Chengqian looked up at her, his dark eyes full of oppression. Are you afraid of being discovered? I have nothing to be afraid of. I'm very open and honest. I just don't feel well and I'm afraid of spoiling your fun. If he goes out, she just happens to go out to get equipment. She must make good use of such a good opportunity. Besides, she is an imposter. Although she doesn't know how much Li Chengqian knows, if she runs into Li Yunxian and the matter is exposed, she will not be able to end it. I won't go, Master Santilder. If a direct rejection doesn't work, then try acting coquettishly. Seeing her firm attitude and determination not to go with him, Li Chengqian's face darkened, and a mocking smile appeared at the corner of his mouth. Was she afraid of spoiling the fun? Was she afraid of running into Li Yunxian? If you don't want to go, just stay home. After saying that, Li Chengqian slid his wheelchair out the door. As the taillights of the car disappeared from sight, Shu Yao raised a sneer. The gentle and obedient look just now was instantly replaced by coldness, and a layer of frost covered the pretty face. I need to rest. No one is allowed to go upstairs. After saying this, Shu Yao went upstairs. Its upright figure is like a pine tree standing proudly in a cold night, unafraid of the frost yet scaring people away. Downstairs, the servants looked at each other in bewilderment. Third Grandma seemed like a different person. Back upstairs, Shu Yao changed her clothes, put on the human skin mask, turned over and jumped out of the second floor window. In the dense forest, Shu Yao lifted a piece of camouflage cloth, and a black Yamaha appeared in front of her. Wearing a helmet, Shu Yao stepped forward with her long legs, stepped on the pedal with her black leather shoes, braked, and turned the accelerator with her right hand. A buzzing sound resounded through the air, and a black shadow rushed into the mountain road. Longmen Pavilion. As the black motorcycle entered the surveillance area, the door of the parking garage opened. Shu Yao got out of the car, took off her helmet and handed it to the robot beside her. "Master, you are back." The robot's cold voice contained no emotion. "Bobo, pour a glass of red wine." The robot immediately pulled out a goblet from the empty slot on its chest, pointed its finger, and a stream of red wine poured into the goblet. "Master, please drink." "Bobo, go build a new computer. It has to be small and waterproof." "Yes, master." Longmen, as the name suggests, is a place where carp can become real dragons only after passing through Longmen. This is Shu Yao's own gathering place, a glass villa located on the mountainside behind Xiankong Mountain. There is no one here all year round, only Bobo, a robot, guards it. After finishing a glass of red wine, the computer assembled by Bobo came out. It is smaller and lighter than before, and will not be noticed when hidden around the waist. "Master, are you satisfied?" The computer turned a few times in his palm, and Shu Yao nodded. "Bobo, you are getting better and better. I will find you a girlfriend someday. How about that?" Bobo is a robot, its entire body made of a material more expensive than gold. Suddenly, a red light came on. "Oh, master," Bobo is blushing. Shu Yao put away the computer and patted Bobo on the head. "Little fool, you are still shy. Okay, I have to go now. I will bring you something fun next time I come back." Bobo walked around in circles and saw Shu Yao off. Chapter 11. The war has just begun. The villa area at number 9 Uegafu Mountain Road, Gancheng is located in the center of Gancheng. It is the intersection of several dragon veins. The property is located between two hills, facing north, and receives energy from the east and west. It can be said to be a feng shui treasure land. As the golden iron gate slowly opened, a black Maybach drove in, and 2 rows of servants in the yard bent down in an orderly manner. The car door opened, and Li Chengqian was pushed out of the car by Uncle Shu. The servant called out respectfully, "Hello, third master." There was no trace of warmth on the cold face anymore. The man was pushed into the villa. The huge living room was already full of people. Old Master Li sat in the first seat, followed by Li Chengqian's eldest brother and his wife, Li Chengyu, and Zhu Jingya, his second brother's widow Jiao Minglan, and then several younger children. Because of Li Chengqian's disability, everyone looked down on him, and even the children had no respect for him. "Aegon is back, come here quickly." He was Mr. Li's most beloved youngest son, and he was once highly expected of him, but unfortunately he ended up being disabled and living in seclusion. Quite sad. Uncle Shu pushed Li Chengqian to the old man. Old man Li looked behind him and said, "Aikian, where is your wife? Tonight is a family dinner to celebrate your wedding. Why didn't she come?" Finally, Li Chengqian, who had a cold expression on his face, showed some emotion. "She is not feeling well. I asked her to rest at home. I will bring her to have tea with you another day." "Not feeling well." Mr. Li glanced at Uncle Shu, who nodded. Mr. Li then asked, "Do you want to ask Dr. Jing to take a look?" Li Chengqian was about to speak when Jiao Minglan at the side came to his rescue. "Dad, this is a matter between a young couple. It will be awkward if you ask more." Old Master Li laughed out loud as if he understood everything. Yes. Look how confused I am. Our Qian is just a newlywed. As he said this, Mr. Li laughed twice more. "Even so, it's not a rule in our Li family that a new daughter-in-law shouldn't offer tea to her parents-in-law on her first day of marriage." Zhu Jingya looked at Li Chengqian with a mocking expression. Maybe third brother deliberately didn't let his sister-in-law come out. After all, 11:11 and our Yunxuan have. "Shut up." Mr. Li slapped the table. "Boss's wife, you said that." Although Zhu Jingya was unwilling to be scolded, she had to grit her teeth and swallow it. "What can't be said?" A cold voice came from outside the door, and Li Yunxian walked in closely. With arrogance, his eye swept over everyone in the hall until they fell on Li Chengqian, and a murderous intent flashed in his eyes. With his fingers clenched into fists, Li Yunxian looked at Li Chenxian with resentment. This cripple, if he could, he would kill him right now. As soon as she saw her son coming, Zhu Jingye felt more confident and stood up immediately. We were talking about your third uncle not bringing his new wife to offer tea to Grandpa. Har! Li Yunxian laughed softly. Maybe the girl doesn't agree with this marriage. Everyone knows the relationship between the three people, and there is silent smoke of war between their words. Li Chengqian changed his previous cold and sad expression and sighed. Yes, it's really a waste for such a good girl like 1111 to marry a cripple like me. Not only does she serve me tea and water during the day, but she also has to undress and bathe me at night. 1111 is the eldest daughter of the Tang family after all, and it is really unfair for her to serve me like this. Li Yunxuan's rationality was already running wild, and the fire in his eyes was burning more and more fiercely. Seeing his clenched fist, Li Chengqian suddenly smiled at Li Yunxian and said, "Speaking of which, I was able to marry such a good wife thanks to Xian's concession. I will definitely toast you a few glasses of wine later." Li Chengqian's tone was full of sincerity, and the smile on his lips was like a flag waving by a winner, showing off to him. Li Yunxian clenched his teeth and chuckled. 1111 is a good girl. As long as third uncle and 1111 are happy and loving, my little concession doesn't matter. Looking at Li Chengqian's smug face, Li Yunxian wished he could tear him to pieces. How dare a useless person yell at him here? Just wait, Li Chengqian, when I gain power, the first person I will kill will be you. The uncle and nephew looked at each other and competed secretly. The war had just begun. Chapter 12. A disabled person is worthy of competing with me. Uncle San, you haven't been back for a long time. Why don't I take you out for a walk? Li Yunxuan's eyes were full of flames of revenge. How could Li Chengqian not understand the little tricks in his mind? Knowing it was their Hongmen banquet, he had to attend. Okay, it's a good opportunity to go out and bask in the sun. Li Chengqian nodded happily. Third young master, let me do it, you. Uncle Shu stepped forward and tried to take the wheelchair, but Li Yunxian glared at him and said, I'm going out for a walk with my uncle. What's the matter? Are you worried? I dare not, I dare not. Uncle Shu immediately lowered his head. Li Chengqian's eyes turned cold. Uncle Shu, go pour some tea. Yes, third master. Uncle Shu turned and went into the kitchen. After saying goodbye to the people in the living room, Li Yunxian pushed Li Chengqian into the garden through the front door. Cicadas are chirping in May, and it is the beginning of spring. Flowers are in full bloom and the air is filled with the fragrance of flowers. There are many pomegranates planted in the yard, and the pomegranate flowers are blooming, very beautiful. Pushing the wheelchair slowly through the pomegranate trees, Li Yunxian spoke as if reminiscing about the past. Third uncle, I remember that you loved eating pomegranates the most when you were a child. We had many fights because I was trying to snatch pomegranates from you. At that time, I always said that grandma was partial to me. You were obviously the elder, but you always snatched food from me. I hated you at that time. Just because the quack said you were the reincarnation of Purple Star, all the good things in the house were given to you. Yes, my father is kind and cowardly, but why should what belongs to him be taken away? What belongs to him is mine. If you take away his things, you are robbing me. Since everyone is partial to you, then I will fight for it myself. As he spoke, murderous intent was hidden in Li Yunxuan's eyes. His cold eyes, like an icy blade, shot towards Li Chengqian mercilessly and coldly. Li Yunxian leaned over and whispered in Li Chengqian's ear, 10 years ago, you were full of vigor and I couldn't beat you. Things have changed. 10 years later, you are disabled. What can you use to fight me? Sitting in a wheelchair, Li Chengqian had a dull expression, as if everything Li Yunxian had just said had nothing to do with him. Yu turned his head and Li Chengqian looked at the face in front of him that was deeply engraved in his mind. So, this is why you caused the car accident and wanted to kill me. Li Yunxuan's expression suddenly changed. Kill you? Third uncle, you can eat whatever you want, but you can't say whatever you want. When did I want to kill you? If you have evidence, call the police, don't frame a good person here. Li Yunxian raised his voice to hide his panic, his throat rolling and looking at Li Chengqian in a daze. Even though he is already a useless person, he still acts like a superior king. The old man gave you 45% of the company's shares because he felt sorry for you. You really think you are the boss of the company? Let me tell you, the Li Group doesn't need a loser to be the boss. Looking at Li Chengqian sarcastically, Li Yunxian looked like a superior winner. Li Chengqian raised his hand and blocked the scorching sun above his head with his hand. Through the gap, the sunlight shone on his face, and the warmth spread but could not dispel the coldness in his eyes. Li Chengqian looked at Li Yunxian fiercely from the side. It's not up to you to decide what kind of person the Li family needs to take charge. Just like Tang Daixi, no matter how much you like her, as long as I say a word, the old man will still marry me obediently. You. Li Yunxuan's face was fierce, and he grabbed Li Chengqian's neck with one hand. She's just a woman. I, Li Yunxian, don't have anything I want. You're just a worn-out shoe that I left behind. If you want it, just take it. Really? Li Chengqian met his vicious eyes with a faint smile on his lips. Irritated by his mocking laugh, Li Yunxian wished he could strangle him to death to vent his anger, and he kept squeezing the bones of his neck with force. The two looked at each other, and suddenly Li Yunxian smiled and let go of his hand. That's right, a waste like you is only worthy of using what I have left. Tang Daixi is a woman who may not be good at other things, but she is very good at getting along with men. This is the result of my cooperation over the years. You don't need to thank me, we are uncle and nephew. If 1111 can take good care of you, it will be a filial piety of mine as a nephew, don't you think, third uncle? After saying that, Li Yunxian seemed to suddenly think of something. Oh, look at my brain, how could I forget that you are a disabled person and can't even take care of yourself? I guess you can't do anything you want to do, har 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 tilde. The hand on his leg slowly clenched into a fist, and cracks gradually appeared in his calm eyes, but the voice he spoke was still light. Then third uncle really wants to say thank you. If it weren't for you, I wouldn't have met a girl as good as 1111. From now on, you can rest assured that I will love 1111 well. There was frost in Li Yunxuan's eyes. He had robbed his people, but now he was mocking him. 1111 is his. It was all because of this loser. It was he who begged the old man and forced him to give in and marry 1111 to this loser. 1111, wait a little longer, I will definitely take you back. In the sunlight, the swimming pool was shimmering with white light, and a gleam of cruelty flashed in Li Yunxuan's eyes. Uncle San, let's go a little further. Pushing the wheelchair, the two slowly walked to the swimming pool on the right side of the villa. When they were only 3 meters away from the swimming pool, Li Yunxian suddenly slipped and leaned forward while pushing the wheelchair out. With a plop sound, Li Chengqian and his wheelchair fell into the swimming pool, splashing water. Third master. With a cry of surprise, Uncle Shu, who was waiting behind him, rushed out immediately. Without saying a word, Uncle Shu jumped into the swimming pool and pulled up Li Chengqian, who was gradually sinking, by his arms. The bodyguards around also ran over after hearing the noise, and it took a lot of effort for several people to carry Li Chengqian to the shore. Everyone in the villa ran out upon hearing the noise. When Mr. Li went out, he saw Li Chengqian lying on the shore coughing violently, while Li Yunxian was standing on the shore with his hands in his pockets. A cold light flashed in Mr. Li's eyes. What happened? How could he fall into the water? Zhu Jingye seemed to be saying caring words, but there was a sneer on her face. As expected, trash is trash. Once thrown into the swimming pool, it's like a dead dog and can't do anything. It's the third young master, it's him. Uncle Shu. Uncle Shu wanted to say something but was stopped by Li Chengqian's loud roar. Turning his head, Li Chengqian looked at old man Li and smiled. Dad, it was my own carelessness. It has nothing to do with Xiao Xian. After saying that, Li Chengqian pinched his brows tiredly. Dad, I'll go home first. After saying that, Li Chengqian gestured to Uncle Shu, go back. Staring at Li Yunxian angrily, Uncle Shu snorted, third young master, you should consider the consequences before doing anything. After saying that, Uncle Shu pushed Li Chengqian out of the old villa. Chapter 13 Invisible Temptation. Back at the villa halfway up the mountain, as soon as Li Chengqian entered the villa, Aunt Mai ran over. Where are the people? Third grandma has been upstairs all day. She said she felt a little uncomfortable and hadn't eaten all day. Li Chengqian's face darkened, you haven't seen her all day. Third grandma said she wants to rest and not be disturbed. With a stern look in his eyes, Li Chengqian said sternly, Uncle Shu, push me upstairs. He went straight upstairs, opened the door, and saw Shu Yao reading a braille book in the room. Li Chengqian coughed lightly. Hearing that, Shu Yao put down the book and stood up. Third master, you're back. Glancing at the book in her hand, Li Chengqian turned his wheelchair and walked over. You haven't been out all day. You didn't eat anything either. Not hungry. Is he caring about himself? Shu Yao shook her head. My stomach feels uncomfortable. I'm not hungry. Uncle Shu. Li Chengqian waved his hand. Ask Aunt Mai to make some stomach-nourishing porridge. Although the third grandmother had poor eyesight, she did not despise the third uncle for his poor legs and feet. Uncle Shu was especially happy when the third uncle started to care about the third grandmother. Finally, the third master lived like a normal man. Shu nodded wildly. Hey, I'll go right away. Are you hungry? Not hungry. He is not hungry, so why cook porridge? It can't be for her to eat. 20 minutes later, Uncle Shu came up with some stomach-nourishing porridge. Li Chengqian waved his hand. Give it to her. Sure enough, give her something to eat. She ate a lot when she was at Longmen Pavilion. Bobo's cooking skills were comparable to those of Michelin chefs. She would eat very well every time she went there. Although the porridge looked bright in color and fragrant, she... Why, do you need me to feed you? Shu Yao shook her head. No, I can do it myself. As he was about to reach out to take it, he suddenly realized that he was blind, and his hand dodged the spoon again. Li Chengqian stepped forward, took the bowl, stirred it gently, and then handed it to her mouth. Open your mouth. The grayish-white pupils trembled slightly, and a sense of panic flashed across them. What is he doing, feeding her? My mouth trembled slightly, not knowing whether I should open it. I don't mind feeding you with my mouth. Shu Yao immediately opened her mouth and bit the spoon. Because of his actions, Shu Yao's face turned red, and the way she held the spoon in her mouth. Li Chengqian only felt a burning sensation spreading from his lower abdomen to his whole body. All my limbs felt numb. Ahem. Li Chengqian cleared his throat. Uncle Shu, please go down. Uncle Shu smiled and nodded immediately. Okay, then third master and third madam should go to bed early. When my peripheral vision was withdrawn from the door, it fell into a pair of deep obsidian eyes. After being stunned for a long time, when Shu Yao wanted to take it back, it was too late. Feeling flustered, Shu Yao decided to pretend to be blind, thinking that she was blind. Letting go of the spoon, Shu Yao asked, Have you eaten? Without. Then you can try some too. Aunt Mai's cooking skills are very good. He didn't have much of an appetite, but after hearing what she said, he was inexplicably compelled to take a bite. Why? He actually used his spoon, isn't that an indirect kiss? Li Chengqian raised his eyebrows slightly. What's wrong? He forgot that he was blind. Shu Yao sighed silently in her heart. No, I'll do it myself. Looking at her pink lips, Li Chengqian's throat rolled, and then he handed the bowl in his hand to her. Drink slowly, it's hot. Good. The atmosphere was awkward and dead silent, with only the sound of the spoon colliding with the bowl. Shu Yao felt miserable. How long would it take her to finish such a big bowl of porridge? After barely drinking half a bowl, Shu Yao couldn't swallow another mouthful. Third master, I can't eat anymore. Shu Yao pouted in grievance. The delicate little face, the watery deer-like eyes, her aggrieved look and choked voice, who can stand it? The fire in his heart surged out again, burning Li Chenggan's mouth and tongue. Taking the bowl from her hand, Li Chengqian naturally drank the remaining half bowl. Drink what she left. When did they become so close? After drinking the porridge, the fire in my heart was not extinguished but became even stronger. Putting down the bowl, Li Chengqian turned his wheelchair and drove towards the bathroom. Without his deep eyes, Shu Yao breathed a sigh of relief. Although this man is disabled, his arrogance is not weak at all. I originally thought that if I married Tang Daixi, I would have more time and leisure to develop my career, but I didn't expect to meet a man named Li Chengqian. The last computer had been with her for many years. Although the things on it could be copied, the experiences she had worked hard for were washed away with the bath water. She almost died on her first day. If this continued, she was really afraid that she would be exposed. It seems I have to find an opportunity to run away quickly. Chapter 14. Remember, you are mine. The wheelchair was stuck at the bathroom door. Shu Yao quickly got up and walked over, pushing the wheelchair's armrest. However, she didn't have enough strength, so she squatted down and lifted the wheelchair with great effort. I finally lifted the wheelchair and pushed it into the door. Third master, do you want to take a shower? Go out. Shu Yao was stunned for a moment. What? I told you to get out. She was fine just now, why did he suddenly let her go? What's wrong with you? Thinking that he was disabled, Shu Yao suppressed her temper and said, I'll give you a massage after you take a shower. I read in a book today that if you massage more, your legs won't get blocked. No need. The man suddenly reached out and grabbed Shu Yao's collar and brought her to his front. Their eyes met, and the man said coldly, still pretending. Shu Yao immediately looked away, feeling flustered. Did she reveal the truth? That's impossible. She's pretending so well, how could she be discovered? His cold eyes looked at her with mockery. Tell me, Li Yunxian sent a blind man like you, and he really thinks highly of me. He laughed sneerily. That's right, I'm a cripple, so it's just right to send a blind man, har har. She looked innocent and harmless, but she was actually an undercover agent sent by Li Yunxian to be by his side. When she thought that she was Li Yunxuan's person, a surge of anger came over her. Shu Yao stood up slowly and looked at the ground with a cold expression, as if everything he said had nothing to do with her. She was as holy and elegant as a snow lotus on a distant mountain. Her grey eyes were sparkling, as if she had been humiliated. Third Master, I? Don't call me Third Master, you don't deserve it. Before she could finish her words, he interrupted her sharply. I just want to help you, what are you doing? Shu Yao muttered. Her kindness was taken for granted. She patiently cooperated with him, but he was still showing off. Shu Yao turned around and was about to leave, but suddenly her wrist dropped and she was pulled by him to sit on his lap. A cold voice came from behind her ear, I don't care if you are Tang Daixi or someone else. Since you have married into my family, Li Chengqian, you are mine, and even if you die, you will be my ghost. There was endless pain in his eyes. She could see it clearly, but she couldn't figure out the reason. But his words sounded the alarm for her. I am your wife. Of course, I am yours in life and yours in death. As she spoke, Shu Yao deliberately stretched out her hand to hold his neck, put her lips next to his ear, and whispered, Third Master, why don't we? Before she could finish her words, Shu Yao was pushed away by him. Get out. Shu Yao stretched out her hand to touch him, but he pushed her away. Before the door closed, his voice filled my ears like a cold wind, stay in the villa and don't go anywhere. Bang! The sound of a door closing violently brought Shu Yao back to her senses. Shu Yao rolled her eyes at the bathroom and snorted, Stinky man. Suddenly the phone rang. Shu Yao looked at the caller and saw it was Shen Yi. Shen Yi would not call her cell phone unless necessary. Glancing in the direction of the bathroom, Shu Yao quickly walked to the balcony with her cell phone. What's wrong? Her clear voice became hoarse, which was the sound effect she imitated recently with the help of a voice changer. 13. The buyer we have agreed on suddenly requires an on-site appraisal, and wants you to be there in person. It would be quite shameless for her to attend in person. Then I 1T sell it. Anyway, their mountain of light is in her hands, so it won't be easy to find a seller. You're not selling it anymore. Shen Yi exclaimed. I said 13, I found this seller with great difficulty. The sale of this diamond has been banned by the International Jade Association because of rumors of a curse. I negotiated this deal with my life on the line, so if you say you don't want to sell it, then don't sell it. Shu Yao was already angry after being scolded by Li Chengqian for several times in a row, and now she even ran into someone who came to her doorstep to get scolded. She was a 13-year-old girl and never sold fake goods, but they actually dared to question her and asked her to inspect the goods and have her attend in person. Do you really think that if you buy a piece of stinky stone, you will be the king? Don't overestimate your abilities. 13. Don't be angry. Think about it, it's $100 million, and we got this diamond without spending a penny. It will be $700 million after reselling it. We won't lose money on this deal. I know you're angry, but how can we go against money? Otherwise, you can go and beat them up in person and let them know who is the boss in the jade industry. Oh, 13, I kneel down to you. I finally found the buyer after much negotiation. Can you please give the Buddha a favor instead of the monks? Shu Yao had lost her patience with Shen Yi, so she sighed, okay, I'll go. I'll let you know when the news comes. Go ahead. Shu Yao hung up the phone before she finished speaking. At the same time, the bathroom door slowly opened. With a turn of her wrist, she stuffed the phone into her pocket. With her other hand on the railing, Shu Yao closed her eyes and took a deep breath. From Li Qingqian's perspective, Shu Yao seemed to be looking at the night view. But can she see it? Curling the corner of his mouth coldly, Li Chengqian went to bed. Shu Yao breathed a sigh of relief when he turned sideways and didn't look at her. She just held her breath and focused her attention on her ears to judge his movements. Meet her in person. Shu Yao couldn't help but doubt the other party's background. Everyone in the jewelry industry knows that she has two principles: 1. Don't sell fakes, 2. Don't appear in person. This buyer broke 2 of her rules in a row, and it seemed like he was targeting her on purpose. Okay, then we'll meet each other. However, Li Chengqian had just told her to stay at home obediently, so she had to find a way to get out. Chapter 15. She kicked me out of bed. When she returned to the bedroom, Li Chengqian had already fallen asleep. Shu Yao quietly sat back on the bed. From now on she had to act quiet and try to find a chance to escape. Li Chengqian closed his eyes, but he didn't feel sleepy at all. Over the years, he was fearless, except when night came, when those memories would embed themselves in his mind again and again. A raging sea of fire, a violent explosion, a girl's scream, and suddenly a face covered in blood. Li Chengqian suddenly opened his eyes, and what he saw was a beautiful face, very close to him. He subconsciously wanted to push her away, but she suddenly raised her legs and pressed on him, her white arms wrapped around his neck, and her face pressed tightly against his. Bobo, be good and sleep with mommy. Li Chengqian was stunned for a moment. There was a faint scent on her, which crept into his nostrils like a ghost, and something deep in his memory was evoked bit by bit. She smelled so much like the person in my memory. Maybe he was too tired, he actually let her hold him and fell asleep while holding Shu Yao. It was a peaceful night. He didn't suffer from insomnia as usual, and slept till dawn with her soft arms. When the sky was just getting light, a scream was heard and the next second Li Chengqian rolled to the ground. With a gasp of cold air, Li Chengqian propped himself up and got up from the ground. His furrowed brows showed how angry he was at the moment. You, what did you do to me? Shu Yao clutched the quilt tightly and looked vigilantly at Li Chengqian, who was squatting on the ground. When I opened my eyes in the morning, I saw his face and his hand on my butt. Shu Yao reacted instinctively and kicked him down. With your skinny body, do you think I would be interested? Li Chengqian said disdainfully. Then why are you holding me? As soon as he finished speaking, Li Chengqian propped himself up and sat back on the bed. Shu Yao immediately retreated, but Li Chengqian suddenly grabbed her ankle and pulled her in front of him. The next second, her body lightened, and before Shu Yao could react, she was already sitting on his lap. Between husband and wife, what do you think I do? Normally, he was not afraid of any storms or waves, but Shu Yao was so frightened by his smiling eyes that she forgot to react. After a moment of silence, Shu Yao pushed his chest and said, "Your legs are inconvenient, I'd better go down." With a sneer on his face, Li Chengqian hugged her waist and pulled her closer to him. My legs are inconvenient, but the other leg can be useless. What? Shu Yao's eyes widened, and she pushed him harder and harder. Shu Yao shook her head. No, I'm not ready yet, Before he could finish his words, he suddenly picked her up and threw her back onto the bed. I'm not interested in you. After dragging the wheelchair over, Li Chengqian pushed himself up and sat on it and went into the bathroom. After checking herself and making sure nothing had happened, Shu Yao breathed a sigh of relief. After breakfast, Li Chengqian answered a phone call and went out. After patiently eating breakfast, Shu Yao told Uncle Shu that she was not feeling well and asked everyone not to disturb her, then went upstairs. After entering the bedroom, Shu Yao went into the bathroom and took out a black leather jacket from the ceiling and put it on. Then she took the key and climbed out of the window. The last time she came back from Longmen Pavilion, Li Chengqian's car was parked right at the door. Shu Yao could only find a secluded place to put down the motorcycle and then climb over the wall back to the bedroom. She had just changed her clothes and sat back on the bed, and the next second, Li Chengqian pushed the door open and came in. As a result, she was so nervous that she forgot where she parked the car when she climbed over the wall. The villa was built halfway up the mountain, surrounded by dense primeval forest. Shu Yao walked around for a long time but was still circling in the same place. We're just going around in circles. This is not a solution. Shu Yao stopped and took out a dagger to carve a mark on the nearest tree, making a mark every 10 meters. Just when Shu Yao carved the third mark, there was a sound of something rubbing in the grass. Hiss tilde. There was another rustling sound. Shu Yao paused, her heart hanging in the air, and her hand holding the dagger slowly tightened. This is a primeval forest, so it's normal to see some wild animals. A bush not far away was crushed to the ground. It looked like a big thing. She swallowed nervously. If it was a small animal, she could still handle it, but if it was a giant, then. Holding the dagger in her backhand, Shu Yao looked vigilantly at the fallen grass getting closer and closer. He was slowly backing away, when suddenly there was a loud noise and a huge monster suddenly rushed out of the bushes. Chapter 16. Am I going to die here? Shu Yao looked carefully and saw a golden python as big as a bull rushing out from the grass. The golden python's sturdy body was propped up high, its amber eyes slowly narrowed, and its tongue hissed out. Her throat rolled as Shu Yao looked at the yellow python in front of her in horror, her heartbeat becoming irregular. The corners of his mouth trembled. Brother, I have no ill intentions, I just took the wrong road, please don't mind, I will leave immediately, we will not interfere with each other, how about that? The golden python looked at her coldly, neither attacking nor retreating. Brother, if you don't say anything I will take that as your consent. As Shu Yao said that, she slowly retreated backwards. However, the golden python slowly moved forward, staring at her without blinking with a pair of cold vertical eyes, and its tongue hissing as if it was staring at a delicious meal. The dagger turned in her hand and Shu Yao gripped the handle tightly. Since she couldn't leave, she would just face it head on. The sunlight shone on the blade, a cold light flashed, the golden python's eyes changed, and it attacked Shu Yao in an instant. Shu Yao dodged immediately, and the golden python missed its target. The next second, it turned its tail and swept it. Before she could stand firmly, Shu Yao was hit in the chest by the snake's tail that swept towards her quickly. Bang! His body hit the tree heavily, bones broke, and he fell to the ground. The ribs seemed to be broken, and cold sweat broke out on Shu Yao's painful forehead. Shu Yao forced herself to stand up, half knelt on the ground, and slowly picked up the fallen dagger with her hand. My stomach churned and I suddenly vomited. The bright red blood stimulated the golden python, and the killing instinct of the cold-blooded animal was aroused. Without giving Shu Yao a chance to catch her breath, the golden python launched an attack once again. With murderous intent in her eyes, when the golden python rushed over quickly, Shu Yao exerted force with her legs, and her light body suddenly jumped up. At the moment the snake's head rushed over, she stabbed it down with the dagger. Puff! There was a sound of blood gushing out, and the golden python roared and rolled on the ground in pain. The dagger pierced into the golden python's left eye. The severe pain stimulated its killing urge, and the huge snake tail swept around frantically. Shu Yao had used up all her strength in the previous attack, and as she was injured, the snake's tail nearly hit her several times. After dodging several times, Shu Yao's body and mind were on the verge of collapse, and the wound on her chest continued to bleed as she moved. Unable to move anymore, Shu Yao fell back to the ground again. She has worked so hard for so many years, is she going to die at the hands of a snake this time? No, she won't give in. The frantic python finally found its target. Just as it was pouncing towards Shu Yao with its fangs bared, a sudden shout came from behind. King! The golden python immediately stopped attacking. Blood continued to ooze out of its left eye, dripping onto the ground, while the murderous look in its right eye slowly subsided. The dense forest blocked the view, and a tall figure stood in the shade. The golden python that was about to kill her just now slowly retracted its attacking head and turned to look at the man. Its hissing tongue seemed to express its unwillingness. Back! Every joint in her body was stinging her mind. The moment the golden python retreated, Shu Yao finally couldn't hold on any longer. She fell down with a blackout in front of her eyes. The moment her body fell to the ground, a figure suddenly rushed over and embraced her in his arms. Just 10 minutes ago, Li Chengqian had just gotten out of the mountain road, but he forgot something and turned back. As soon as I arrived at the door of the villa, I saw Uncle Shu running out in a hurry. There was a noise coming from the breeding area in the backyard, as if someone had broken in, but the surveillance camera captured Shu Yao. As soon as Uncle Shu finished speaking, Li Chengqian stood up and rushed into the secret passage. Looking at the girl who had fainted in his arms, her face was pale and there was blood at the corner of her mouth. Luckily, she arrived in time, otherwise his fake wife would have become King's lunch. But he didn't expect that this girl's fighting ability was so strong. Although she was injured, she still killed one of King's eyes. King, whom he had raised for so long, was actually injured by her with just a dagger. When Uncle Shu arrived, the battle was over. Send Shu Yu over here, and send someone to check on King. Yes. Looking at the back of the man holding Shu Yao and walking away, Uncle Shu couldn't help scratching his head. The young master had been pretending for so long, but he was willing to expose himself for the sake of third grandma. Moreover, the look in his eyes when he looked at third grandma just now was so nervous, which was something Uncle Shu had never seen before. Sure enough, marriage can change a person. In a daze, Shu Yao seemed to be held by someone, and passed through a dark road that looked like a cave or a tunnel. Shu Yao wanted to find out what was going on, but she didn't even have the strength to open her eyes. Shu Yao is Li Qingqian's friend of many years and one of the only people who knows that his leg has healed. In the bedroom, Shu Yao was examining Shu Yao, but the location of her injury was rather special, and the woman in front of him was Li Qingqian's wife, so he couldn't afford to offend her. "What are you standing there for? Hurry up and treat the wound. Can't you see she's bleeding?" Shu Yao sighed bitterly. "Brother, this wound is on her chest, how can I treat it?" Although there is no gender distinction in the eyes of doctors, brothers' wives are still clearly distinguished. "Brother, you also studied medicine, you can do it yourself." After saying that, Shu Yao put down what he was holding, turned around and walked out. Looking at the bed sheet stained with blood, Li Chengqian took a breath and thought, "Forget it, it's just treating the wound, and they are husband and wife, it's no big deal." After taking off his coat and looking at Shu Yao's figure, Li Chengqian realized that this girl usually wore baggy clothes and her figure could not be seen, but he did not expect her to have quite a good figure. The wounds were on the chest and abdomen. When Li Chengqian finished treating the wounds, he actually broke out in a thin layer of sweat. This is simply self-abuse. After finishing everything, Li Chengqian changed his clothes before sitting back in his wheelchair and leaving. Chapter 17 The Taste of Peach. The night wind blew away his sorrow. Under the flickering moonlight, the shadows of the trees swayed. The man stood on the balcony, looking at the endless forest in front of him, but he could not get rid of the uneasiness of the day. He was even afraid, what would happen to her if he was even a minute late? Turning around, the dim light from the bedside lamp cast on the girl's face. She slept uneasily, and I don't know if she had any dreams. Her brows were tightly furrowed, her tender little white hands were clutching the quilt, and her lips were pale and dry. He walked into the room, moving very quietly, as if afraid to wake the sleeping beauty. He reached out his hand to smooth her frown, but as soon as he did, he felt a burning sensation. I checked my body temperature and it was as high as 40 degrees. Li Chengqian walked into the bathroom, wrung out a towel and covered her forehead, then went to find some antipyretic medicine for her to take. Time passed minute by minute. Half an hour later, the temperature seemed to have dropped a little, but the body under the quilt was still shaking. Only then did he realize that her pajamas were soaked. He took off her wet clothes, wiped her armpits and palms with alcohol, and then changed her into clean clothes. When doing all this, he tried his best to keep his mind focused, but when he took off his pajamas, his feverish body, white with a rosy glow, looked like a half-ripe peach, tender and juicy, exuding a suffocating temptation. My throat is rolling and the fire in my heart is burning. It's not that he has never seen women. Over the years, many people have sent him all kinds of women, sexy, simple, mature, or cold. He has seen too many, but never one that made him unable to control the impulse like he is now. The girl opened her pink lips and her soft murmur was the most deadly poison. Letting out a sigh of relief, Li Chengqian quickly changed her wet clothes and changed into a clean set of sleeping clothes before he got up. In a daze, Shu Yao always felt that someone was touching her and it was itchy. She wanted to open her eyes but couldn't. It was so cold, her whole body felt like she had fallen into an ice cellar. She curled up subconsciously. In a daze, she seemed to be held in someone's arms. Her body slowly turned, pulling at the wound, and she murmured in pain. Feeling the source of the warmth, my body subconsciously hugs me tighter. Cold tilder Xiaobai, cold tilder. When he heard her calling out other names, Li Qingqian's eyes darkened. Noob. Is it a person's name? He threw back the quilt and tried to leave, but she held his arms tightly and his struggle was in vain. Looking at her cheeks that were flushed due to fever, they were as red as a rose bud about to bloom, so beautiful and tempting. The movement of getting up was stunned. Li Chengqian sighed, and covered the quilt for both of them again. The soft and warm body immediately leaned over again, hugging his arm tightly until there was no gap anymore. Xiaobai, it's cold. Subconsciously, every time she was injured or sick, it was Xiaobai who was by her side. She naturally thought that he was Xiaobai, the same Xiaobai who held her tightly in his arms and gave her warmth. Grabbing his hand, she crawled into his arms. Subconsciously, the moment the girl climbed into his arms, he reached out and wrapped his arms around the girl's slender waist. Through the thin cloth, her hot body pressed against his chest, and the hot-blooded man slowly changed, his muscles tensed, his limbs went limp, and his mind went blank in an instant. Xiaobai, it's cold, Tilda. He held her in his arms, the air conditioner was on in the bedroom, the girl was lying on his chest, pouting to cool herself down. He had no choice but to turn sideways and hold her in his arms. Her hot body was like a small stove warming him, but she was still complaining about being cold. With his lips tightly pursed in an effort to hold back, as the girl cried out in fear, he simply took off all their clothes. As their skins embraced each other, he almost collapsed from the burning fire in his body. In the second half of the night, her body temperature dropped, she no longer complained of cold or pain, and fell into a sound sleep. But he kept his eyes open, following the moonlight outside the window, until white light appeared in the sky. If she had not been sent by Li Yunxian, he might have been nice to her. This girl, although she can't see, has a very similar unyielding character to him. Unfortunately, their relationship was doomed from the beginning. He held up his body all night for fear of touching her wound, and his muscles became so stiff that he lost consciousness. He slowly pulled away until the girl fell asleep completely. He changed her into clean pajamas. This time, he deliberately didn't look at her. He told himself over and over in his mind that she was just a patient and he was just taking care of her. But when he saw her snow-white body, the heat in his body that had been suppressed all night surged up again. After covering her with the quilt, Li Chengqian went into the bathroom. At this time, he needs to take a cold shower. Chapter 18. He became suspicious. Xiaobai. Shu Yao woke up from a nightmare with a scream. She moved her body and felt a sharp pain in her chest. She fell back onto the bed in pain. Outside the door, Aunt Mai pushed it open. Third Grandma, you're awake now. How do you feel? Are you still feeling uncomfortable? As she spoke, Aunt Mai opened the curtains. The intense light came in, and Shu Yao subconsciously stretched out her hand to block it. But when she remembered that she couldn't see with her eyes, the action of covering her eyes turned into flicking her hair. What's wrong with me? Third Grandma, you were injured by King in the breeding area yesterday. You need to recuperate well. King. Shu Yao remembered that she met a golden python in the back mountain and they fought for a long time. King is the golden python that fought with you yesterday. It was specially raised by the third master, but you poked one of its eyes out. In fact, King is usually very obedient and docile. Maybe he has never seen you before and thought you were going to invade his territory, so he attacked. Shu Yao was surprised. Raised? Why would your third master raise such a big python? It's actually for self-protection. Aunt Mai sighed, this place is halfway up the mountain, and the third master doesn't like having so many bodyguards guarding it, so there are many loopholes here that can be exploited. About 5 years ago, a group of assassins came to assassinate Master San, and happened to alarm King who was out looking for food, scaring the group away. Since then, Master San has raised King. Raising a python in the mountains. No, your third master's brain. After a pause, Shu Yao changed to a more elegant wording, this hobby is also quite special. She vaguely remembered that King attacked again before she fell into coma, and then a figure rushed over and hugged her, and nothing happened after that. By the way, Aunt Mai, who saved me yesterday? It was the people who raised King. When they found out King was missing, they rushed to look for him, and then they saw you fainted. Is he a breeder? Although Shu Yao didn't see the person clearly, the smell on that person was very familiar, as if she had smelled it somewhere before. Aunt Mai helped Shu Yao sit up. Shu Yao looked down at her pajamas and her eyes trembled suddenly. Her pajamas. Touching the fabric on her body, Shu Yao asked, Aunt Mai, did you change it for me? It's not me. Aunt Mai smiled and said, it's third master. You were injured, and Sanyi treated your wound. As a result, you had a fever in the middle of the night, and Sanyi stayed with you all night. Still immersed in the shock of being lulled to sleep by Li Chengqian, Shu Yao was so shocked by Aunt Mai's next words that she forgot to react. He changed her clothes. Then he saw everything, didn't he? Not noticing her surprise, Aunt Mai asked, Third Grandma, are you hungry? I'll bring you some food. Yeah, okay. After Aunt Mai left, Shu Yao sat on the bed, Aunt Mai's words echoing in her mind. You had a fever in the second half of the night, and the third master stayed with you all night. That's impossible. He had clearly told her to get lost before, so why would he stay with her all night? He had always thought that she was an undercover sent by Li Yunxian and told her to get lost. Then what was the meaning of what happened last night? She couldn't see through him. Shu Yao gave an irritable smile. No matter what his purpose was, she would not stay for long. When things were almost settled, she would create an accident and fake her death to escape. While I was thinking, the door opened and Li Chengqian, dressed neatly, walked into the bedroom in a wheelchair. The deep eyes stared at her without blinking, with scrutiny. Staring in the direction of the bathroom, Shu Yao tilted her ear to judge the sound. Third master. He looked lonely and said in a cold tone, "Are you still feeling uncomfortable?" "It's okay." Shu Yao curled her lips, "Thank you for last night." The wheelchair slid to the side of the bed, and Li Chengqian reached out to test her forehead. Shu Yao subconsciously wanted to dodge, and her sideways movement suddenly paused, and she leaned against the head of the bed. "I still feel a little dizzy. I don't know if it's because I slept too much." He didn't say much, just paused and then withdrew his hand. She took a deep breath secretly. She was almost exposed when she dodged just now. "Why are you going to the back hill?" "I knew I couldn't avoid it." He would ask sooner or later. Shu Yao's eyes became dull again, and she shook her head blankly. "I didn't go to the back mountain. I just felt sick in my stomach, so I strolled around the villa for a while. I don't know how I ended up in the back mountain. I wanted to come back, but I couldn't see where I was. Then I encountered that giant python. Is it as simple as just taking a stroll?" His eyes were fixed on her, his deep black eyes were like an endless whirlpool, sucking her in. "Yes." Shu Yao said sincerely, "I really don't know how I got there. It might be because I'm blind." As she spoke, Shu Yao lowered her head dejectedly, clenched her hands together, and pouted as if she was about to cry. "Since you can't see, don't run around anymore. If you have any problems, call Uncle Shu." Shu Yao wiped the corners of her eyes, sniffed, and nodded obediently. "Yeah, I understand." Seeing her reluctant expression, Li Qingqian's eyes turned cold, unhappy. "Aunt Mai came in squatting with breakfast." "No, I'm very happy." With a smile on her face, Shu Yao silently said to herself in her heart, "Just think of it as being kind to the disabled." After looking at her deeply, Li Chengqian turned the wheelchair and walked out. After he left, Shu Yao forced herself to get out of bed despite the injuries on her body. When the golden python appeared and hurt her yesterday, she sent a message to Xinyi to postpone the transaction for 1 day. She was hurt by King only when she was distracted, otherwise how could that useless python hurt her? Joke. After closing the bathroom door, Shu Yao quickly called Xinyi. 13, you finally answered the phone. What happened yesterday? Yesterday, someone suddenly said that the transaction was postponed, and then 13 hung up the phone. Xinyi called back more than 10 times but the call didn't go through. He was so anxious that he almost called the police. After hearing what Xinyi said, Shu Yao pursed her lips helplessly. Even if they wanted to call the police, they would have to know her name. What did the buyer say? He said a lot of things, but she didn't respond and just got straight to the point. This is 13. The other party was quite angry at first, but when they heard that we would not cooperate if they did not accept the postponement, they became afraid and agreed. What time today? 3 o'clock in the afternoon, Qianxin Building. Qianxin. Shu Yao felt that the name sounded familiar. Have you checked his background? I checked. It's a Wall Street upstart named Zeman Z, the president of Qianxin Group. Although 13 was cautious, he had 100% trust in him, which was why he asked proactively this time. Is there a problem? No, I just think the name is familiar. Shu Yao pursed her lips. She always had a bad feeling. Okay, I understand. After saying that, Shu Yao was about to hang up the phone. Xinyi shouted anxiously, wait a minute. Shu Yao didn't hang up the phone. What's wrong? Xinyi hesitated a little. No, nothing, it's just that we have been working together for so long and finally get to meet each other. I am a little nervous. Since 5 years ago, their cooperation has been through the internet. Even the several jade auctions they attended were staggered, so this time was a real meeting. Don't worry, I don't eat people. Just as she finished speaking, Aunt Mai's voice came from outside the door, and Shu Yao quickly hung up the phone. Chapter 19, I want to see him alive or his body dead. While eating, Shu Yao heard from Aunt Mai that Li Chengqian had gone out. Just now she was still thinking about how to get out of the house. With her injuries all over her body, she couldn't climb over the wall or ride a bike, so she could only attack from the front. After dinner, Shu Yao covered her wound and tried to get out of bed. As soon as she moved, she heard "R." Aunt Mai ran over quickly. "Third grandma, what's wrong?" My wound hurts so much, as if my bones are broken." Aunt Mai frowned. "I'll call the doctor right away, please wait a moment." "Don't." Shu Yao quickly grabbed Aunt Mai's hand. "Aunt Mai, there is no professional examination equipment at home. I think I broke a bone. I must go to the hospital for a checkup." "Oh, I can't move." "Aunt Mai, hurry up, let's go to the hospital." Shu Yao was crying and shouting. Aunt Mai was in a state of confusion, and Uncle Shu was no longer around. She didn't know what to do. "Aunt Mai, I'm in so much pain, Before she could finish her words, Shu Yao fainted. "Grandma-san." 3. Aunt Mai quickly called the driver, and a group of people hurried out. Originally the wound was not serious, but he was pushed and supported along the way, and it hurt so much that he dared not say a word. Shu Yao finally made it to the hospital and entered the examination room. The doctor followed her in. As the door closed, a figure suddenly flashed by and the doctor fainted. Outside the door, Aunt Mai and the bodyguard were waiting anxiously, and the doctor in a white coat walked past them in a dignified manner. After leaving the hospital, Shu Yao took a taxi and headed straight to Longmen Pavilion. Bobo had already prepared everything, and Shu Yao went to the dressing room immediately. Half an hour later, the door of the dressing room opened and a handsome man walked out. The black suit made him look tall and straight, he had short black hair, and his shiny leather shoes gleamed under the light. Bobo clapped his hands at the side. "Master, you are so handsome. Bobo wants to give birth to a baby for you." Before he could catch his breath, the man coughed, causing his wound to ache slightly. This handsome man is none other than Shu Yao, who just had long flowing hair. She became famous overnight in the jade industry, but because she was afraid of being discovered by the Tang family, she dressed up as that person. At first she wore a hat and a mask, but after she became famous overnight, many people came to her and wanted to make her a genius in the jade industry. Just when she was in trouble, she met Shen Yi, who gave her an identity, Lu Huaixuan, the young master of the Lu family who had failed in the financial war in Hong Kong. After the Lu family was defeated in the war, they went bankrupt. The Lu couple committed suicide by burning charcoal. The eldest son of the Lu family was chased by a debtor and died in a car accident while fleeing, leaving behind the younger son in the United States. Everyone thought that Lu Huaixuan had fled to the United States, but in fact, Lu Huaixuan had died of illness 10 years ago. Shu Yao is the most suitable actress for this role. Looking at the face in the mirror, the human skin mask made by Shen Yi is really realistic, almost exactly the same as the photo. After blowing the hair off her forehead, Shu Yao put on sunglasses and went out. The hum of the engine filled the air, and the black Bugatti sped away. Qianxing Building. Zhang Chao stood in the top-floor office, overlooking the entire port city, with the glass of red wine swaying slightly in his hand. The midday sun shining on his body actually made him look somewhat charming. "Brother, if the other party is really him, what should we do when we meet later?" On the sofa, Li Chengqian closed his eyes and rested, tapping the armrest of the sofa lightly with his index finger, again and again, in precise coordination with the second hand. On the other side, Xu Jun had just been playing with his little baby. When he heard the word hands-on, he immediately became interested. "Hands-on? Add me in?" Fu Jingqian rolled his eyes helplessly. "Go play in the mud." Sitting next to Li Chengqian, Fu Jingqian was the most thoughtful. "Brother, this matter can't be so simple. Lu Huaixuan has been silent for 10 years. How could he appear at this critical moment?" The lightly closed eyes suddenly opened, and a pair of black eyes flashed with a faint light. "Whether it's him or not, you'll know when you see him." There were still more than 10 minutes left before the agreed time. Although Li Chengqian seemed calm, he was actually feeling uneasy inside. Qianxing Group is a company founded by 4 people, but in just 3 years it has become a major player in Hong Kong's business community. To the outside world, everyone knows that the boss of Qianxing is Zeman Z, a Chinese from Wall Street in the United States. But in fact, few people know that Zeman Z is just a pseudonym, and the real boss behind the scenes is indeed Li Chenxian and other 3 partners. All the evidence back then pointed to Lu Huaixuan. If he really was the one who hid my sister-in-law, you. Zhang Chao immediately shut his mouth and Fu Jingqian glared at him. It's not relevant to bring up this issue. What happened back then was a pain for Li Chengqian, and it was because of that accident that he had been sitting in a wheelchair for 10 years. This was his taboo. Zhang Chao looked at Fu Jingqian begging for mercy and almost knelt down. Holding up the wine glass, Fu Jingqian handed it to Li Chengqian. Brother, don't worry, I have sent 2 squadrons to guard it. He won't run away. The Mountain of Light was a diamond that Ji Yuchun had studied for many years. When Li Chengqian heard that someone was auctioning this diamond, he didn't even think twice and spent $100 million on it. Later, after investigating the information, it was found that the seller was an unknown jewelry company called Seton Jewelry. After further investigation, we found out that the legal person who registered the company was Lu Huaixuan, the young master of the Lu family who has disappeared for 10 years, Li Chengqian's love rival, Lu Huaixuan. After the accident that year, Ji Yuchun's body disappeared, and the last person who had contact with him was Lu Huaixuan, but he disappeared in Hong Kong City at the same time. How could he not doubt that the accident that year was really just an accident? Did he even begin to doubt whether Ji Yuchun was really dead? For 10 years, he has never stopped looking for Lu Huaixuan. I want to see him alive or his body dead. Ji Yuchun is his, why would Lu Huaixuan hide her? His brows were furrowed, and his pair of black eyes were like an eagle's, sharp and piercing, making people feel like thorns in the back. It's been 10 years, Lu Huaixuan, and we are finally meeting. With a bloodthirsty light flashing in his eyes, the long-dormant lion can finally hunt prey. Chapter 20, Chase on the Overpass. Downstairs, Shu Yao tidied her clothes and walked into the Qianxing building. As she entered the building, Shu Yao stopped immediately. Under the sunglasses, a pair of black eyes quickly scanned the surroundings. It's too quiet, almost eerily quiet. Shu Yao closed her eyes, took a deep breath, and opened her eyes again. All the buildings in front of her were spread out in front of her. It was as if there were people hiding behind every load-bearing pillar, and each of them had a weapon in his hand. A barely perceptible smile flashed across Shu Yao's lips, but she continued walking towards the front desk. The receptionist smiled sweetly. Hello, sir. This is Qianxing Company. Do you have an appointment? I'm Lu. Before he could finish his words, his cell phone rang. Sorry. Shu Yao picked up the phone, and Shani's anxious voice came. 13, don't go upstairs yet, there's a trap. Shu Yao's eyes flashed with a hint of viciousness. I knew it a long time ago. After saying that, Shu Yao turned around and looked at the receptionist with a smile, but she spoke on the phone with a tone of disdain. Wife, you have to change your accent. Qiansen is not Qiansheng. Oh, you ruined me. After hanging up the phone, Shu Yao pulled down her sunglasses and winked at the receptionist. I'm sorry, miss. My wife yelled, her accent is not correct, I heard it as Qiansheng, it turned out to be Qiansen. The receptionist smiled and nodded. Qiansen Group is over there. After thanking the front desk several times, Shu Yao walked out of Qianxing building calmly. Upstairs, Fu Jingqian received a call from the bodyguard. Mr. Fu, a man just came in and seemed to have gone to the wrong place. Well, keep watching, and don't let go of anything suspicious. After hanging up the phone, Fu Jingqian looked at Li Chengqian and said, Brother, someone went the wrong way. The clock hands ticked away, and until 5 full minutes had passed and no one came in, Li Chengqian's eyes suddenly widened. It's him. The 3 men looked at each other. Zhang Chao cursed, fuck, and ran out the door. Fu Jingqian quickly took out his phone and said, check where the guy who just came in went. Quick. When the 3 of them went downstairs, Zhang Chao was cursing in the hall, and Shu Yao had already driven away without a trace. They sped all their way until they were out of the city center and onto the elevated road, and only then did Shu Yao breathe a sigh of relief. Dare to ambush her. Snort. Very good, Qiansheng, right? Next, we have something to play. Call Chenyi back, what's going on? Who is that person that makes you so nervous? 13, this matter is very troublesome. I can't explain it to you clearly for the time being, but your identity as Lu Huaixuan must not be known to the people of Qianxing. The boss behind Qianxing has a grudge against Lu Huaixuan, and this time they asked you to attend in person just to get revenge. Have a grudge against Lu Huaixuan? Didn't Lu Huaixuan already? Suddenly, three Hummer H2S rushed out from behind. Shu Yao's eyes tightened. I'll tell you later, they've caught up with us. Them? 13, you must. Before she finished speaking, Shu Yao hung up the phone, glancing at the three off-road vehicles that kept passing by in the rearview mirror. She stepped on the accelerator with her right foot. On the busy viaduct, the black Bugatti was speeding through the traffic like a fish. The sound of horns resounded in the air. Shu Yao was operating the car in an orderly manner, but was still surrounded by three desperate Hummers behind her. A car intercepted the car from behind, and the two cars on the left and right kept squeezing each other, causing the bodies of the cars to collide. The sports car was small to begin with, and it was almost impossible to escape being sandwiched in the middle. The car behind suddenly accelerated and hit them, causing Shu Yao to be injured already. As her body shook, the wound on her chest was torn open, and blood stained her shirt red. The mailbox was damaged and the dashboard was making alarm sounds. There was no way to continue like this, and suddenly a ramp down the elevated road appeared in front of us. Shu Yao made up her mind and gripped the steering wheel tightly with her fair hands. It seemed that she had no choice but to fight with her back against the wall. The four cars were approaching the ramp quickly. When they were only 10 meters away from the ramp, Shu Yao suddenly pulled the handbrake. The tires rubbed violently against the ground, sparks flew everywhere, and even the brakes could not slow down the car at a speed of 200 miles per hour. The car body was unstable and shook violently, sliding towards the railing on the side of the road. There is a cliff dozens of meters below. If the car breaks through the railing and falls down, there will be almost no chance of survival. Sparks flew everywhere, and the flower seedlings fell on the oil that was overflowing from the tank. Boom! The rear of the car instantly caught fire. There was a buzzing in her ears, and Shu Yao ignored the severe pain in her heart. Suddenly, a mouthful of blood spurted out. Chapter 21, The Conscientious Undercover. Blood blurred the front windshield, and the vision was blood red. At the critical moment, Shu Yao pressed her whole body on the steering wheel, and the wheel kept spinning in place, rubbing against the railing violently. The screws on the railing popped out with a ding, and Shu Yao gritted her teeth and refused to let go. She just didn't believe that God wanted to destroy her. Before the last screw broke, the engine drove the power system to force the rear tire back onto the road. Quickly pull the steering wheel back and drive the car down the ramp. Shu Yao quickly got out of the car in the blind spot between the two surveillance cameras before and after the ramp. Looking at the blood on the windshield, Shu Yao's eyes darkened. If her blood was extracted and taken for DNA testing, she would be in greater danger. She took out a lighter and lit it with a click. Shu Yao curled the corners of her mouth coldly, and turned around in an instant, and the lighter flew onto the smashed Bugatti. With a boom, the sports car instantly caught fire. By the time the three Hummers arrived, the car had been burned to its frame. Zhang Chao quickly ran out of the car and looked at the burning car. Fuck. Li Chengqian got out of the car, flames reflected in his black eyes, murderous intent evident. Lu Huaizhuan, is it really you? You're willing to sacrifice your life to hide from me. Xu Jun also stepped forward. Brother, do you think it's Lu Huaizhuan? If he was unsure at first, now he is 100% sure. Without waiting for his answer, Fu Jingtian answered for him. You are stupid. If it wasn't Lu Huaizhuan, why would he run away? What should we do next? Zhang Chao squatted on the ground and pulled the weeds on the roadside. He knows we are chasing him, and he will definitely not show up again. He will. Li Chengqian said coldly, satin jewelry. Fu Jingtian understood Li Chengqian the best. Are you going to attack Seton? Turning around, Li Chengqian raised his lips coldly. We will take whatever they want. The three brothers looked at each other, paused for a few seconds, and said, fuck. Shu Yao didn't know how long she had been walking, and with every step she took, the wound on her chest seemed to bleed. If this continues, she will go into shock from excessive blood loss. The cell phone fell in the car, but Shu Yao luckily had a backup plan. Pulling open her shirt, Shu Yao cut her heart with a dagger, and took out a thin chip the size of a little finger from her flesh and blood. She pressed the switch, and a red light came on. Bobo, who was dozens of kilometers away in Longmen Pavilion, was suddenly awakened. Ona! The LED screen's eyeball rotated rapidly, and a red dot appeared in the eye instantly. This is her secret way of communicating with Bobo, and also her way of asking for help in an emergency. When his men arrived, Shu Yao was already on the verge of coma. Boss! Two men in black quickly ran over and carried Shu Yao into the car. Yongyan Hospital. Hurry! The boss is injured. A group of medical staff rushed out and pushed Shu Yao into the operating room in an orderly manner. The operating light came on, the door opened, and a woman in surgical gown walked in. Everyone, get out. At the command, everyone quickly dealt with the things in their hands and walked out of the operating room. Looking at Shu Yao lying on the operating table, a hint of helplessness flashed in the doctor's eyes. Why bother, silly? Just after returning to Qianxing building, the four people were repeatedly looking at the man who had just appeared, and they felt it was weird no matter how they looked at him. In my memory, Lu Huaixuan had a tall and straight figure, but the man in the video, although not short in height, looked a little frail. After receiving the call from Aunt Mai, Li Chengqian raised his eyebrows slightly. Third Master, I'm sorry, third Grandma is missing. Missing? Li Chengqian let out a low cry, and the three people who were thinking immediately looked up at him. A bunch of rubbish. With an angry curse, Li Chengqian stood up and walked towards the door. Brother, what's wrong? She's lost. After saying this, Li Chengqian disappeared at the door. Zhan Chao, she. Shu Junya, who? Fu Jingqian rolled his eyes, who else but Tang Daixi? The two of them understood. Oh tilde, the sound stopped abruptly. Zhan Chao blinked blankly. No, didn't I say I don't like her? Why are you so worried about whether that woman is lost or not? Shu Jun also came forward and said, I think you must have been single for too long and you are feeling romantically aroused. Arousal. Zhan Chao gave a thumbs up. Very good, Xiao-san, you have summarized it well. Get lost. If you call me mistress again, I'll kill you. On the other side, at St. Mary's Hospital, Aunt May led her bodyguards to search almost the entire hospital, but found nothing. When Li Chengqian arrived, everyone stood in a row in fear, with their heads almost bowed in the dust. What's going on? Sitting in a wheelchair, Li Chengqian's aura did not diminish at all. Aunt Mai stepped forward tremblingly. Third Master, I was wrong. At that time, Third Grandma was in so much pain that she fainted. You and Uncle Shu were not here at the time, so I had to bring Third Grandma to the hospital. I saw Third Grandma enter the operating room with my own eyes. We all stood guard at the door. I really don't know how Third Grandma disappeared. Don't know how it was lost. Li Chengqian looked at the operating room with frosty eyes. Could it just disappear out of thin air? He waved to the bodyguard beside him. Go, copy the surveillance footage of this floor. As soon as she finished speaking, Aunt Mai said in embarrassment, Third Master, the surveillance camera was broken at the time, and nothing was left. With a sharp look, Li Chengqian gritted his teeth, and a cold light flashed in his eyes. Escape blatantly. Send a message to Li Yunxuan. Even though he was injured, he always kept his mission in mind. What a dedicated undercover agent. When she woke up again, Shu Yao's wound had been treated. Looking at the unfamiliar environment, Shu Yao's eyes suddenly turned cold. She sat up abruptly, feeling a sharp pain in her chest. His tilde. I took a breath, and the next second a voice came from the sofa. Still alive. Looking at the woman standing up from the sofa, with her neat short hair, delicate makeup and well-fitting suit, she looked even taller, elegant yet capable, heroic and valiant. I believe in your skills, old Meng. Shu Yao skillfully shone a light towards Meng Wan and said, Come here, help me up. Giving her a blank look, Meng Wan walked forward with his arms around his chest and just stretched out his arms. Pull it yourself. Shu Yao chuckled and pulled Meng Wan's arm hard. Meng Wan's body suddenly lost balance and fell towards the hospital bed. Fortunately, Meng Wan took her injuries into consideration and supported himself on the bed with his hands so as not to press on her. The prank was successful. Shu Yao laughed happily, but Meng Wan sighed helplessly. It seems that you don't want to recover from this injury. Pulling Shu Yao to sit up, Meng Wan pointed at the human skin mask thrown aside and said, You can't pretend to be a woman anymore, so you're changing to a man now. Shu Yao sipped the water and raised her eyebrows. It's just an identity. By the way, no one has discovered it, right? I rushed here as soon as I received Bobo's message. I performed the entire surgery by myself, and no one saw me. That's good. Shu Yao let out a sigh. How long have I been unconscious? Glancing at the time, Meng Wan said, including the surgery, it's been more than 4 hours. 4. Shu Yao exclaimed, 4 hours. Then. Shu Yao opened the quilt and was about to get out of bed, but Meng Wan covered her up. You have 2 broken ribs and the wound on your chest is torn open. Why are you moving around? Don't you want to live anymore? Shu Yao patted her hands and said, Lao Meng, I have important things to deal with. I have to go. As for the mother and daughter from the Tang family, you have already done your best. What else do you want? Meng Wan's tone was full of disgust. Tang family. Shu Yao was puzzled. What happened to the Tang family? Chapter 22, A Good Trick to Replace the Pillars. Meng Wan frowned, you don't know. Then, Meng Wan took out his phone, flipped through the video and handed it to Shu Yao, watch it for yourself. The video was a live broadcast. A group of reporters were blocking the downstairs of Tang's building. A large group of people were boycotting the antique shop under the Tang Group for selling fake goods. Although Tang Kaihua is not very capable, his basic ethics as a businessman are still there, and he has never sold counterfeit goods over the years. What is the reason? Since Meng Wan mentioned it, she probably has found out the whole story. It's the mother and daughter of the Tang family who sold you for money, not to mention that you are a fake. Meng Wan is the only one who knows her identity and also knows that she married into the Li family on behalf of Tang Daixi. The two grew up together in an orphanage. Although Shu Yao was adopted later, she never lost contact with Meng Wan. The two were watching the live broadcast when suddenly a group of people rushed into the crowd, holding up signs and shouting, Tang's not only makes and sells counterfeit goods, but even the daughters they marry off are fake. The two looked at each other with gloomy faces. Meng Wan pursed her lips and said, what's going on? These people. Li Chengqian. Shu Yao shook her head. Not really. He knew I was fake, but he didn't say anything. He had always thought that she was Li Yunxuan's undercover agent, and Li Chengqian was waiting for her to expose herself, so why would she suddenly change her tactics? Maybe he's been waiting for this opportunity. It's not impossible that Shu Yao can't see through him. There was a commotion in the video, and it seemed like someone was being carried out. The reporter reported with great emotion, dear viewers, the person being carried out is Tang Kaihua, the president of Tang Corporation. It is said that he was so angry about the news that he had a heart attack. Heart disease. Shu Yao stood up immediately, but was stopped by Meng Wan. Where are you going? You've already done your best, why are you addicted to being abused? Pressing Meng Wan's hand, Shu Yao sighed, Old Meng, no matter how they treat me, Tang Kaihua did give me a home and raised me for so many years. I must repay this kindness. Meng Wan was so disappointed that she couldn't make him become a good person. How long do you have to pay me back? Shaking her head, Shu Yao handed the coat to Meng Wan, put it on for me. Knowing that he couldn't persuade her, Meng Wan took the coat and put it on her. Even before Shu Yao left, he kept telling her, it's almost okay. Don't forget your own identity. You are just a blind man's adopted daughter. Don't show off. At the hospital entrance, as the ambulance arrived, a string of black TV station cars followed closely behind. As soon as Tang Kaihua got out of the car, reporters chased after him with cameras. Those who boycotted counterfeit goods were still at the Tang family, and those who were causing trouble went to the media, loudly accusing the Tang family of looking down on the third master of the Li family and finding a blind man to marry in place of the eldest daughter of the Tang family because he was disabled. A black Ferrari was parked opposite the hospital entrance. The window was rolled down and a sneer flashed across Li Yunxuan's lips. A lame man is paired with a blind man. I want to see how arrogant you can be this time. In the passenger seat, Tang Daixi held Li Yunxuan's arm and rubbed the man's arm softly in front of her body. Xian, aren't you afraid that the cripple will cause trouble for us if you do this? Afraid? Li Yunxuan's eyes were gloomy, and his face was full of sarcasm. What can a cripple like him do? Now that the Li family is in my hands, it is a blessing for him to live in shame. If he dares to resist, I will kill him. When saying this, Li Yunxian seemed like a king. His majestic figure was reflected in Tang Daishi's eyes, so sacred and so domineering. Standing up and kissing him on the face, Tang Daixi said admiringly, Xian, you are so great. Fortunately, I let that blind man marry me at that time, otherwise, we would not be able to be together. Thinking of the pain he had endured in the past few days, Li Yunxian directly pinched Tang Daishi's chin and sealed her red lips with a kiss. Just across the street, one side is in dire straits, the other side is full of passion. When Shu Yao arrived, reporters were guarding the door. She had never been exposed in the media, and even if she walked past the media, no one would recognize her. Just as Shu Yao walked into the hospital openly, Tang Daixi, who was almost in a gunfire across the street, her eyes lit up. Blind man. Li Yunxuan turned around and saw the white figure walking into the hospital lobby. Blind. It's the blind man who sold Li Qingqian's house, our adopted daughter Shu Yao. Li Yunxian was stunned. Why is she here? Now that the person involved is here, he will do his best to be a good person and help his journalist friends to report the case well. Go and have a look quickly. It's best to make a big fuss about it. Tang Daixi frowned at him in confusion. Although she didn't know his purpose, she had to help him as they were now in the same boat. Tang Daixi got out of the car, put on a mask, and squeezed into the hospital with difficulty under the siege of reporters. At the door of the emergency room, Wen Lina saw Shu Yao walking towards her while holding onto the wall. She walked forward angrily and slapped her in the face without saying a word. However, Shu Yao saw it clearly, so how could she let her succeed? His feet slipped and he fell towards Wen Lina. Ouch! With a scream, Wen Lina failed to slap Shu Yao, but was slapped away by Shu Yao on the head. Wen Lina took 2 steps back and sat down on the ground. Shu Yao squatted on the ground, holding her head innocently, and kept apologizing. I'm sorry, I didn't mean it, I couldn't see, are you okay? As if frightened, no one saw a smile flash across his face hidden under his arms. Wen Lina's back teeth were trembling with anger. What's the point of having a blind person like you? You only know how to cause trouble. You're useless. I shouldn't have adopted you. As if she had just recognized that the person was Wen Lina, Shu Yao stretched out her hand towards her in a flattering manner. Auntie, don't be angry, I know I was wrong, I promise not to make the same mistake again, I'm sorry. Shu Yao was like this, even the bodyguard beside her was touched. After all, a blind girl was bullied like this, everyone felt sympathy for her. But to Wen Lina these words sounded like a knife cutting her flesh, making her even more irritated. When Shu Yao reached out to help her, Wen Lina pushed her away and said, Go away, you blind man, why don't you just die? If you die, there won't be so many problems. It was clearly their fault, but when they were angry they took it out on her. With her head lowered, Shu Yao was as humble as usual, apologizing and begging for mercy. When Tang Daixi came up with the reporters sent by Li Yunxian, Shu Yao was squatting on the ground begging for mercy. You blind bastard, pretending to be innocent again. Every time Shu Yao, the blind girl, pretends to be innocent, Dad feels sorry for her. Fine, I'll let you pretend to be innocent, but today I'm going to let everyone see what a heartless person you are, blind man. Tang Daixi walked over and explained her purpose to Wen Lina. Wen Lina immediately agreed, then dismissed the bodyguards, spoke briefly to Tang Daixi, and then gestured to the reporters. Wen Lina, who was domineering just now, suddenly became gentle. She squatted down and gently stroked Shu Yao's head. Yao, don't be afraid. Dad is fine. This matter has nothing to do with you. We know that you like the third master of the Li family. Originally, your sister should marry him, but as long as you live well, it doesn't matter if your sister makes some sacrifices. But now those people outside are saying that our family secretly changed the bride. Yao, your father had a heart attack after hearing these words. If we continue to make trouble like this, we will not be able to face people in the future. Wen Lina was crying as she spoke. If Shu Yao was not the person involved, she would have been impressed by her acting skills. What a trick! This cry puts all the blame on Shu Yao. Tang Daixi winked at Wen Lina and covered her face, pretending to be a victim. Mom, don't say it. My sister has poor eyesight. As long as she is happy in the second half of her life, I don't care. Shu Yao caught a glimpse of the red dot at the corner of the corridor, lowered her head, and a cold light flashed in her eyes. Life in the world depends entirely on acting skills. Shu Yao knelt on the ground with a plop, her pale face full of tears. Auntie, 1111, I'm sorry, I know I did something wrong, please don't be angry, don't chase me away, don't. She cried until she was choked with sobs. Compared to Wen Lina and Tang Daixi, who were just thunder without rain, Shu Yao's originally empty eyes, coupled with the tears falling down, added a bit of desolation. Aunt, I know I was wrong, but I didn't tell anyone about this. I knew 1111 and the Li family's third young master were a couple, and I married the third young master on 1111's behalf. I was willing. After all, 1111 was a healthy person, so how could she marry the third young master? I have been very careful these past few days, afraid that I would be exposed, but I can't see it, and I can't hide it at all. It will definitely be discovered. I'm sorry, Auntie, I have failed your expectations, I'm sorry. Chapter 23 The Woman Who Killed. Their mother and daughter had originally planned to pin everything on Shu Yao, slandering the substitutionary marriage as Shu Yao having an affair with Li Chenxian, and that their Tang family was generous enough to help a blind man. Then Li Yunxuan processed it further and confirmed the setting of a blind man and a lame man between Li Chenxian and Shu Yao. By then, not to mention the pressure from the Li group, even Li Chenxian would be crushed by the public opinion and everyone's ridicule. Besides, she wasn't blind. Not only is she not blind, her eyes are different from others. Seeing that the rhythm had changed, Tang Daixi immediately waved to the paparazzi who was taking pictures, and the paparazzi immediately put away his equipment and left. Without the cameras posing, Tang Daixi was too lazy to act. She stood up and looked down at Shu Yao, who was squatting on the ground. This blind guy really wastes air when he is alive and wastes land when he dies. I'm just wondering why your mom gave birth to you. She couldn't do anything, so she asked you to marry someone, but you made such a big fuss about it. Now that dad is in the hospital, you're happy. You blind bastard. Shu Yao's hands suddenly clenched, and murderous intent flashed in her grey eyes. She can bear it, but she won't allow anyone to disrespect her mother. Seeing her clenched fist, Tang Daixi became more and more rampant, reaching out to poke Shu Yao's head again and again. Why, you want to hit me? Let me tell you, if it weren't for our Tang family, you would have died long ago. Now is the time for you to repay me. Why, you don't accept it. Let me tell you, if you can't handle this matter well, I won't let you off easily, little blind man. Little blind man. When Shu Yao just became blind, Tang Daixi stood in front of her arrogantly and called her a little blind girl, and she did this for 5 years. For the past 5 years, she endured humiliation and pretended to be blind every day just to make Tang Daixi and her daughter pay the price. Tang Daixi seemed to have forgotten how she became blind. If Tang Kaihua hadn't been alive, she wouldn't have been able to touch them for the time being. Shu Yao is a person who has a clear distinction between love and hate. What Tang Daixi said was right. If it weren't for Tang Kaihua, she would have died long ago. So for Tang Kaihua's sake, she kept the mother and daughter for a while longer. Tolerate. Shu Yao silently told herself that it should be considered as repaying a favor. Looking at the bulging veins on Shu Yao's forehead, Tang Daixi sneered. Why, has the little blind man become the third grandmother of the Li family and has a bad temper? Wen Lina on the side immediately agreed. Okay, 1111, she is now the third grandmother of the Li family, we can't afford to offend her. I can't afford to offend you. Tang Daixi sneered disdainfully as if she had heard a joke. I'm going to offend you. Tang Daixi raised her foot and kicked towards Shu Yao's shoulder, but Shu Yao moved to the side. Tang Daixi couldn't retract the force of the kick, and there was no fulcrum under her feet, so she split her legs horizontally. Arr! A pig slaughtering scream echoed in the corridor. Someone ran out upon hearing the sound and saw Tang Daixi sitting on the ground with her legs spread. Someone recognized her as the popular jewelry design star and immediately took out their cell phones and ran over. Ms. Tang, I really like your designs, especially the Daisy series. They are really beautiful. Can I take a photo with you? She is like this, and you still dare to take a photo with her. Get out. A curse was captured by the mobile phone behind him. Her legs felt like they were being sawed apart, and Tang Daixi screamed in pain, Mom! Mom! Come here quickly, help me stand up. Arr! It hurts so much. The corridor was filled with echoes. Shu Yao stood aside, looking as if she had been wronged and taught a lesson. She stared at the ground with silent and empty eyes, but she could do nothing. The sounds of cell phone shutters rang out one after another. Tang Daixi was already unable to take care of herself, so she let Wen Lina support her before slowly retracting her legs. Seeing that those people were still filming, Tang Daixi didn't care about her celebrity style at all, and cursed, Stupid, put your phone away, whoever is filming me, I'll kill her. She looked like a female demon. A smile flashed across his lips, instantly hidden in innocence. When the onlookers saw how powerful this woman was, they immediately closed their doors and hid away. Covering her legs, Tang Daixi glared at Shu Yao with gritted teeth. Bitch, if I let you hurt me, I'll kill you. After saying that, the mother and daughter rushed forward. It's the same kind of empty show again. It's useless and has been seen through long ago. A typical case of death due to talking too much. If you want to kill someone, the first thing is to act quickly. The only way to defeat martial arts in the world is speed. Just as when Lina reached out to pull her and Tang Daixi raised her hand to hit her, Shu Yao was about to take action after judging the angle when there was a roar from the corridor. Stop! Hearing their voice, the mother and daughter turned around and saw a middle-aged man walking towards them. Uncle Shu. Shu Yao's expression suddenly changed. The coldness in her eyes disappeared, and mist filled her eyes. She looked aggrieved as if she had been abused. Who are you? Do you have the right to speak here? Facing Tang Daishi's impolite questioning, Uncle Shu simply ignored it, walked quickly to Shu Yao, and bowed respectfully. Third Grandma, I finally found you. The third master sent people out and almost turned the port city upside down. Tang Daixi and her daughter looked at each other. Third Grandma? Third Uncle. Mom, is this the lame guy? As soon as he finished speaking, Uncle Shu suddenly turned his head and looked over, his eyes grim. Frightened by Uncle Shu's look, Tang Daixi was stunned for a moment, thinking that this old man was just a servant, and he dared to glare at her. Straightening her back, Tang Daixi glared back with disdain. What are you looking at, old man? You? Par. Before Tang Daixi could finish her words, Uncle Shu slapped her in the face, turning it red. Third master is also something a woman like you can say casually. Tang Daixi covered her face with tears in her eyes. She looked at Uncle Shu with a fierce look in disbelief. How dare you hit me? You old man, do you know who I am? I am the future of the Li family. 11:11. When Lina stepped forward quickly and grabbed Tang Daishi's arm, don't talk nonsense. After being slapped in the face and having been tricked by Shu Yao into doing the splits, all the anger rose up instantly and got stuck in my heart. Mom, he hit me. He. Before she could finish her words, Wen Lina suddenly attacked, swung the bag in her hand and hit Uncle Shu. You bastard, you didn't even ask who Wen Lina, and you actually dared to hit my daughter. Kneel down and apologize. Wen Lina is a woman who has always lived a life of luxury, not to mention that Uncle Shu has practiced martial arts before. One hand pulled the bag chain, and the other hand accurately pinched Wen Lina's neck. I'm not our third master. I don't care about being a gentleman. My job is to protect our third grandma. If you dare to disrespect our third grandma again, I will break one of your arms next time. After saying that, Uncle Shu threw Wen Lina aside. Frightened by the cruelty in Uncle Shu's eyes, Wen Lina took 2 steps back, her high heels tilted, and she fell heavily to the ground. Mom, are you okay? Tang Daixi ran over and supported Wen Lina, who was coughing violently. Just then, the door of the operating room opened and Tang Kaihua, who was still in a coma, was pushed out. Shu Yao turned her head and pretended to grope her way to the bedside quickly. Dad, I'm Yao Yao, Dad. The doctor comforted him. Don't worry, Mr. Tang is out of danger now. He just needs to rest. After confirming that Tang Kaihua was fine, Shu Yao felt relieved. Even though Tang Daixi and her daughter were not good people, and even though she did not have many feelings for the Tang family, as long as Tang Kaihua was there, she would try her best to be tolerant. Tang Kaihua was pushed into the ward. Uncle Shu was waiting outside the door. The ward filled with smoke was extremely stuffy. Staring at Shu Yao angrily, Tang Daixi wished she could glue her eyes to Shu Yao. Shu Yao leaned against the wall. Facing the anger of the other 2 mother and daughter, she pretended to be oblivious. She stared at the ground, but her peripheral vision was sweeping over Tang Kaihua on the hospital bed. Cough cough. After a cough, Tang Kaihua slowly opened his eyes. The mother and daughter immediately threw themselves in front of the bed. Old Tang, are you awake? How are you? Are you still feeling uncomfortable? Dad, how are you? Looking at Tang Daixi and her daughter, Tang Kaihua showed a hint of impatience, but when he saw Shu Yao, who didn't dare to approach the end of the bed, a smile finally appeared at the corner of Tang Kaihua's mouth. Yao Yao. Tang Kaihua waved his hand. Come to daddy. Shu Yao's eyes became empty again, and she walked forward while feeling the edge of the bed. Tang Daixi refused to give way, and Shu Yao couldn't see her anyway, so she just bumped into Tang Daixi. Are you blind? Why did you bump into me? Cursing, Tang Daixi suddenly pushed Shu Yao. 11:11. Tang Kaihua yelled, how can you talk to your sister like that? Even though Tang Kaihua was sick, he still defended Shu Yao and scolded her. Tang Daixi snorted coldly, "I'm an orphan, how can I have any sisters?" After saying that, Tang Daixi didn't care whether Tang Kaihua was angry or not. She turned around, stomped the ground heavily, walked to the sofa and sat down. Tang Kaihua held Shu Yao's hand and said, "Yao Yao, don't be angry with your sister. She has just this kind of temper." Shu Yao shook her head, with the gentleness and generosity of a sister. "Dad, I'm fine. I'm sorry, I didn't pretend well." Tang Kaihua glared at Wen Lina angrily and snorted, "I told you not to use this trick. Now you are being attacked from both sides. Let's see how you and your daughter will end up." Tang Daixi, who was sulking, became even more angry when she heard this. "What do you mean by how we end this, Dad? You agreed to this, too. Don't act like it's all our fault." Tang Daixi was so bloodthirsty that she would bite anyone who was not in the same camp as her. "Yes, you are loving father, you are kind, you are not moved by the 1 billion, it is all my fault, we are the ones who made you a sinner for all eternity." 1111, how do you talk to your dad like that? Wen Lina scolded. Tang Daixi sneered. If she wanted to secure her position as the mistress of the Li family, she had to win over Li Yunxuan. But she couldn't even do such a small thing. What if Li Yunxuan got angry? Li Yunxian's enemies are her enemies, not to mention that the blind Shu Yao has always been a thorn in her side, and she has long wanted to drive her away. Tang Daixi, you still don't know you're wrong. If it weren't for you and your daughter, Yao Yao wouldn't have married the third master of the Li family for you. Yao Yao was blind to begin with, and now she's even more. Tang Daixi sneered, a blind man and a lame man, a perfect match. Tang Daixi, get out of here. Tang Kaihua suddenly spoke, pointing at Tang Daixi with red eyes in anger. Tang Kaihua got angry and started coughing violently. Wen Lina quickly ran over and took Tang Daishi's hand. 1111, go home first. Tang Daixi refused. Why? I am your daughter. You told me to get out, but it is this blind man who should get out. Tang Kaihua was so angry that his whole body was shaking. He picked up the cup on the table and threw it at Tang Daixi. However, he didn't have enough strength, and the cup didn't go far before it fell at Tang Daishi's feet. Tang Kaihua only has this one daughter, how could he not love her? But he never expected that Tang Daixi, whom he had doted on and raised, would become like this. You want to hit me? Tang Daixi looked at the angry Tang Kaihua with red eyes. Get out. Get out now. No matter how much Wen Lina consoled her, it was useless. Tang Daixi stepped forward and looked at Tang Kaihua, who was holding Shu Yao's hand. Okay, I'm leaving. You can rely on this blind man to take care of you in your old age. After saying that, Tang Daixi slammed the door and left. Chapter 24. Sooner or later, it will be ruined in your hands. From beginning to end, Shu Yao was just a spectator. When confronting Tang Daixi and her daughter, her wound was torn and blood oozed out. A blood-red flower bud was reflected on her white dress. 1111, are you hurt? Did that rebellious girl hurt you? Tang Kaihua asked with concern. Shu Yao quickly shook her head. Dad, my sister didn't fight with me, she was just anxious. I was just too anxious when I came and accidentally bumped into her. Then go and deal with it quickly. Tang Kaihua waved his hand to Wen Lina, who was standing beside him. Go and deal with it with Yao Yao. Wen Lina was still angry. She had just scolded her biological daughter and sent her away. Now she started to care about an adopted daughter who had no blood relationship with her. Just as she was about to refuse, Shu Yao said, Dad, don't bother Auntie, I can go by myself, you have a good rest, I will come to see you later. After Shu Yao left, Wen Lina finally couldn't help but scolded, Old Tang, when has 1111 ever been scolded like this since she was a child? Don't forget that 1111 is your biological daughter. You treat 1111 like this for a blind man, are you crazy? I'm just crazy. I'm mad at you too. Tang Kaihua became angrier and angrier as he spoke. He coughed violently a few times before he suppressed his anger and sighed, the Tang family will be ruined by you two sooner or later if you keep making trouble. You've already offended many consumers by selling fake goods, and now someone has exposed your substitutionary marriage. Do you want to force me to death? When Lina's eyes wandered, what fake? How come I don't know? After being married for many years, he still understands her. Without further ado, Tang Kaihua looked at Wen Lina coldly. Lina, I warn you, as long as I am alive, the Tang family cannot sell fake goods. Wen Lina wanted to say something, but Tang Kaihua had already closed his eyes impatiently. Looking at Tang Kaihua's expression, Wen Lina blamed all her anger on Shu Yao. It's all this blind guy's fault. Unlucky star. Nothing has gone smoothly since she walked in. After making sure that Tang Kaihua was fine, Shu Yao followed Uncle Shu away. Tang Daixi clenched her fists angrily as she watched Shu Yao get into the car surrounded by a group of people. Mom, why? When Lina gritted her teeth, she didn't know why. How could a blind person be respectfully called third grandma by such a group of people? Why? Mom, I must marry Xian. I want to help him drive this disabled couple out of the Li family. Seeing Tang Daixi gritting her teeth and swearing, when Lina nodded approvingly, okay, Mom fully supports you. But, my dad. When Lina curled her lips and said, with Mom here, your dad won't dare to do anything. With Wen Lina's words, Tang Daixi felt at ease. She must become the mistress of the Li family. Everything I suffered today must be returned double to that blind Shu Yao. Qianxin Group. Zhang Chao quickly ran into the conference room, holding up the USB flash drive in his hand. Brother, I got it. He had to use a lot of persuasion to get the surveillance footage from the overpass from the Traffic Management Bureau. Without waiting for Zhang Chao to start talking about his difficulties, Xu Jun immediately took the USB drive, plugged it into the computer and started playing. 4 people have 8 eyes, watching the surveillance video carefully without missing an inch. For a distance of more than 10 kilometers, with hundreds of surveillance cameras, not a single one captured the man's appearance. The only time they had seen this person was downstairs in Qianxin building. Leaning back in his chair, Li Chengqian watched the building's surveillance footage over and over again. He is thin, so although his clothes fit him well, they are smaller than the average man's size. No matter how you look at it, this person doesn't look like Lu Huaixuan. But why is he running? With his brows furrowed, Li Chengqian always felt an indescribable sense of familiarity. It seemed like I had seen it somewhere before, especially the movement of her turning her head and the obvious pause. If it wasn't Lu Huaixuan, then who was impersonating him? Li Chengqian couldn't think of any reason why another person would impersonate Lu Huaixuan, except for one person. Li Chengqian stood up suddenly, with a glimmer of anticipation in his eyes, and looked at Fu Jingqian in a daze. At the scene of the accident 5 years ago, was there really no other way to go? This question left Fu Jingqian at a loss for words. Brother, are you still doubting that Sister Xiechun didn't die? If it wasn't this, he couldn't think of any other possibilities. The only person who could imitate Lu Huaixuan, both for the reason and the accuracy of the imitation, was Lu Huaixuan's girlfriend at the time, Jiu Chun. Go and question all the staff involved in the accident 5 years ago, especially whether they have had large amounts of money enter their accounts in the past 5 years. Fu Jingqian said in embarrassment, Brother, these have been investigated at the time. His eyes were stern, and Li Chengqian spoke word by word with suppressed anger. I said to check it again, and then check it again. This time, expand the scope of the investigation and check the accounts of all relatives and friends within the surrounding 3 Fu days. Zhang Chao looked at Xu Junia helplessly and said with his mouth, Brother is crazy. Xu Jun also shook his head complacently, as if it had nothing to do with him. Brother, let them go together. 3 cobblers are better than you, Zhuge Liang. Flatterer. Zhang Chao cursed in his heart, then winked at Li Chengqian in a flattering manner. Brother, I still have to prepare for the public auction in a few days, how can I have the time, and I? If you don't want to go, then go to a rich country. The newly minted oil project just happens to be in need of a supervisor. The 3rd and 4th brothers. Before he finished speaking, Xu Jun nodded immediately. Brother, I do. Zhang Chao wanted to say something, but was kicked by Fu Jingqian from below. Zhang Chao had no choice but to force a grin and nod. Brother, let's go. We are very willing. Hillside Villa. After Shu Yao was picked up by Uncle Shu, she went back to her room and did not come out for the entire afternoon. Too many things happened today and she needed to sort them out all at once. Xinyi's phone call, the pursuit on the road, and the people shouting at the door of Tang's house asking for a replacement marriage. Could it be that the people who were chasing her were the same group as the one who sent the replacement bride? The answers to all questions lie with Xinyi. Shu Yao always felt that Xinyi was keeping something from her, so this time she went to check it out herself. Just as Shu Yao entered the bathroom and was about to take the computer, she heard the sound of a car engine downstairs, followed by Uncle Shu's voice, 3rd Master, you're back. Li Chengqian, he is back? Shu Yao quickly got down from the stool, walked out of the bathroom and lay down on the bed. I lay in bed for a long time, but Li Chengqian didn't open the door to come in. She escaped from the hospital halfway, and Uncle Shu said that he almost went back to Gangcheng to look for her. It is conceivable that he must be very angry. Now that he is back, why didn't he cause trouble for her? After waiting for a while, Shu Yao listened carefully to the noise. It was quiet outside. This is strange, what is going on? Has Li Lao-san changed his personality? Shu Yao got out of the bed quietly. In order to hide the noise, she didn't even wear shoes. She walked out of the room barefoot. As soon as she reached the stairs, she heard voices coming from the study. Chapter 25. Is she under house arrest? Shu Yao hurried forward and carefully lay down at the door, and heard Li Chengqian scolding Uncle Shu from inside. I told you to keep an eye on her, but what did you do? First you were attacked by King and then you got lost. What a bunch of losers. Uncle Shu immediately bowed and apologized. I'm sorry, third master. It's my fault. I promise it won't happen again. Shu Yao understood that he was talking about her. But it wasn't Uncle Shu's fault both times. Although she is not a good person, everyone has their own consequences and she disdains to let others take the blame. Shu Yao raised her hand and was about to knock on the door when Uncle Shu came out. Seeing Shu Yao at the door, Uncle Shu glanced at the door vigilantly and quickly closed it. Third grandma, you haven't rested yet. Shu Yao pointed to the door and said, Uncle Shu, he's not angry. Uncle Shu sighed, I'm very angry, go back to sleep. Pursing her lips, Shu Yao told the truth, Uncle Shu, I heard everything that was said just now. Third grandma, I didn't do my job well, so I deserve the criticism. Uncle Shu, this is not your fault, it's me. Uncle Shu raised his hand to stop Shu Yao from saying anything else. Third grandma, you are injured, go to bed early. After saying that, Uncle Shu turned around and walked downstairs. Looking at the closed study, Shu Yao sighed helplessly and went back to her room. For 3 consecutive days, Shu Yao hadn't seen Li Chengqian again, as if he had disappeared out of thin air. Since being scolded last time, Uncle Shu has not stepped out of the villa. Shu Yao seems to be under house arrest, and her daily activities are limited to the villa and the front and back gardens. But this just happened to be what Shu Yao meant. In preparation for the Myanmar public auction, she just needed some time to familiarize herself with the stone conditions at various mines. Since Li Chengqian is not coming back, it is just right for her to have the bedroom all to herself, and she doesn't have to worry about anyone disturbing her. This year's auction is different from previous years because the appearance of the Mountain of Light some time ago caused a sensation in the jade industry, and someone leaked the news that the Kaihua mountain mine will also attend the auction. Many people want to recreate the miracle of the Mountain of Light, so this Myanmar public auction is expected to be a fierce battle, and it is also a good time to become famous. Therefore, her task became even heavier. Since the last phone call, Shenyi cut off contact with Shu Yao. They have been working together for so many years, but this has never happened before. Something big must have happened this time. Shu Yao was at ease, but Shenyi was blocked in the airport lounge. Uncle San, I have urgent matters to attend to. What are you doing? Shenyi fell on the sofa, looking at Li Chengqian opposite him with an innocent face. A circle of black-clad bodyguards surrounded Shenyi. Don't you know what I do? Shenyi shook his head blankly. Uncle San, just speak frankly. You're keeping me in suspense like this, and I'm feeling very nervous. I feel very uncomfortable. As he spoke, Shenyi touched his chest and said, my little heart is beating so fast. Li Chengqian's face turned cold, her patience had reached its limit. Seeing that Li Chengqian was about to get angry, Shenyi immediately spoke up, oh, I see, it's because I haven't visited you for a long time, right? Patting his head, Shenyi apologized repeatedly, Uncle San, it's my fault. Look at my brain. I've been busy with company matters recently and I didn't have time to spare. Another day, when I come back from my business trip, I will go to the villa halfway up the mountain to apologize to you in person, okay? Suddenly, Li Chengqian slid his wheelchair in front of Shenyi. The two looked at each other. The oppression in Li Chengqian's eyes made Shenyi swallow uneasily. Shenyi, I'll give you another chance. Think it over before you speak. Shenyi had already expected Li Chengqian to come to him, but he didn't expect it to happen so soon. At that time, 13 asked him to investigate the other party's background, and he should have done a good job of investigating it. But now, he was almost intercepted by someone. Shenyi pursed his lips and was forced to speak. Uncle San, I'll tell you, isn't it okay for me to tell you? Sitting up straight, Shenyi said sincerely, I'm just a partner. I really don't know who the other party is. Li Chenxian just looked at him coldly. Shenyi didn't tell the truth. With just one look, Shenyi immediately became timid. Oh, third uncle, you are the elder, you can't bully a junior like me like this. What I just said is the truth, I really don't know who the other party is. After saying that, Shenyi suddenly seemed to think of something. In fact, when I first heard his name, I was also stunned. After all, he didn't sacrifice himself for such a big thing for the Lu family back then. He either kept his tail between his legs or died. How could he come to me so blatantly to start a company? But I have never met him, our contact is all through the internet, actually. Shenyi touched his nose awkwardly. Actually, I was planning to meet him for this transaction, but he suddenly disappeared. When I arrived at Qianshan, you were all gone. Everything was swept cleanly away, as if Shenyi really knew nothing. If it were an ordinary person, Shu Yao might believe it, but he is a member of the Shen family, the descendant of a time-honored merchant family that has been entrenched in Hong Kong for 100 years. Would he be fooled so easily? Shenyi, my patience is limited. Where is Lu Huaixuan? Li Chenxian almost gritted his teeth and said this. Chills were emanating from his whole body. The atmosphere in the entire lounge was depressed to the bottom. Uncle San, I really don't know. I haven't even seen him, so how would I know where he is? And I want to confirm whether he is Lu Huaixuan more than you do. My grandmother has gone crazy because of my aunt's death. I want to find Lu Huaixuan more than you do and ask him whether Ji Yu-chun is alive or dead. When mentioning Ji Yu-chun, Shenyi's eyes turned red. That is the pain of everyone in the Ji Yu family. When they had the accident, Ji Yu-chun disappeared from the scene, and judging from the amount of blood bleeding, there was no possibility of Ji Yu-chun surviving. However, he wanted to see the person alive or the body dead, and he wanted answers, and the Ji Yu family wanted them even more. Li Qingqian's expression changed slightly, and the frost in his eyes began to move. Okay. Li Chengqian turned his head and looked out the window, just in time to see a plane flying across the sky. I'll trust you once, but you have to give me all his information, including the details of how you met. When do you want it? Now. Shenyi thought he had heard it wrongly. Uncle San, what did you say? I say, now. No. Shenyi stood up excitedly, but was frightened by the bodyguards around him who collectively took a step forward, so he immediately sat back on the sofa and behaved like a good boy again. Uncle San, I really have a very important memory to remember in Zhucheng. Can you wait for me to come back? I will definitely write it down in detail for you. Then write it on the plane. It takes 3 hours and 23 minutes to fly from Gangcheng to Zhucheng, which is enough. Send it to me on time at 3 p.m. 3 hours. 3. Shenyi wanted to say something, but Li Qingqian's look scared him so much that he immediately smiled. Okay, third uncle, I promise to complete the task. Shenyi didn't breathe a sigh of relief until a group of people followed Li Qingqian out the door. That was a close call.